Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. I am back. Groove is back. We have electricity. Knock on imaginary wood. And we are talking about Peacemaker episode 6 and 7 because when 6 came out, we didn't have power. So no, we didn't have a chance to do our
Yeah,
review. So
we're killed by snow and ice. We can't help it.
it was all a mess. It was a mess. But we are live now. I'm happy. We're going to be able to talk about all the things we missed on Peacemaker last week, which I'm super excited about. I was going to do an Arrowverse stream after this, but guys, I've had a long day at work and that is not going to happen. So it's going to probably be moved to tomorrow. It's a thing. So let's talk about episode 6. I'm going to talk about some highlights, and you want to talk about some highlights too, Groove. So let's talk about the opening, though, where Peacemaker... I believe it was the opening where he's at the school. The janitor.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Well, no, it opened with Adebayo thrown on the street, but the first time we see Peacemaker, he's in the school.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about Adebayo and Myrn and all that in a second, but that scene at the school was effing hilarious. Like, so they're like questioning him. Do you know Wonder Woman? Do you know? He's like, they're calling out all the Justice Leaguers that he knows, talking about Kite Man. Well, if Kite Man was on the kite, why didn't gravity just bring him down?
He by gravity. He was like,
no.
The fact that Peacemaker fought him with like 2 SIG sawyers and like a rocket launcher and an assault rifle. It's like, you needed all that to take down Kite Man?
Yeah, that was actually, to be fair, they're not wrong. I probably just hit him with like a dart gun or something. But the Kite Man.
Like, what villain is Kite Man better than? Maybe Condiment King or some shit. I can't think of too many villains that Kite Man is like superior to. Like that's like fighting a box ghost on Danny Phantom. Like nobody's afraid of the box ghost. Come on, man.
Yeah, it was full of crap. I love that moment. I love that he didn't even promise the janitor that he would owe him a favor. That's what's so funny. He's like, I'm so glad that you were gonna, you did this for me and that you always have my back. He's like, no, I didn't really say any of that, but that's fine. And the little boy calling Peacemaker a loser in front of the class. Oh, that was hard.
Icing on the cake. That was the kids in the class are actually really smart for some reason. But it was a lot. And what's funny about it, I thought was interesting, and I don't know if you noticed it, there were a lot of eagles around the classroom. Mm-hmm. I noticed. I was like, oh, it's called a Peacemaker. But above Peacemaker, there was a hive above his head when he was talking. I did notice that. I was like, oh, okay, see, subtle little.
Yeah, I think James Gunn has an expanded view of where he wants this particular part of the franchise to go. And I guess I'm still a little upset that he's not going to be the Kevin Feige of the DCEU, because I think that they really, if he had taken that, I would have been very interested to see where everything went, and I think that'd be really cool. But
what being clearly established is that he is clearly creating a new DCEU type.
Yeah, he is. He's establishing a new world where there have already been, like, Kite Man even being name dropped is an establishment all in itself, because that's not something we saw in the past or have outside of Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn cartoon. That's not something we've seen. So
when you talk about Flash being an asshole, I'm like, actually, my early comic book.
I was like, are we talking about Ezra Miller? Or are we talking about Barry Allen? Like, either way.
Thinking about Ezra Miller on this one, because a lot of people don't like this Flash.
I mean, now I want to know: is this world the same? Is this the same Earth as Ezra Miller's Barry Allen?
I don't think
he said he met the Flash.
I don't think so, and I think they non-canonize it. Actually, it's James Gunn, I think, said this is not canon to that universe. But then again, from the tone of it, like, and this is one thing this is me noticing, I guess, storytelling. The tone of Peacemaker feels like Shazam, and Peacemaker, Shazam, actually in Wonder Woman, the first one. I don't like 1984. I don't talk about that. But the first one.
Yeah, nobody talks about 1984.
Yeah. But in those 3 films in particular, you have the movies themselves are much more character driven instead of plot driven, which is important. Like, even with the Zack Snyder cut, like the one of the biggest problems I have with the DCEU is that the stories want you to focus more on the story, not the character. The characters kind of obey the plot, and that's boring. That's a problem. Like, if you walk away from a movie and you can't remember what the character was like, you told a bad story. Because we don't really care. The plot's important, but no one really cares about plot or story that much. It's the characters you want to connect to. And Peacemaker, Shazam, and Captain Marvel, and
since Captain Marvel's more, I know you're just using it as a reference, but that's more Marvel.
Yeah, I know. They don't call him anymore, do they? They just call him Shazam now. I forgot. And
Shazam was the original.
Yeah,
Yeah, Captain Marvel, but yeah.
But and then of course Wonder Woman. They focus more on the character and the character development. So like the story is happening around them, not them happening to the story, and that's good. That's important to make a good movie. And
yeah, I agree with that.
It seems like they can't use that Wonder Woman if they're going to take out the entire universe, but they can use that Shazam in that case.
I can see him being in Shazam's universe. Yeah,
that all makes sense.
And they also have the same level of humor in Peacemaker
exactly.
you would find in Shazam. So Suicide, that's interesting because that means Shazam would fit really well in the Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. So and then it did make me wonder though, is the Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey the same as the Harley Quinn from the other Suicide Squad movie?
I think so, because they're using the same actress and she's having the same character arc and the same toxic relationship with Joker. Because in Birds of Prey, you don't really see him at all.
Yeah, there's hints of him, but yeah, you don't really. There's like, yeah.
But from the Suicide Squad movies, you can see that breakup shit developing, going further and further in. So I mean, like, it's there, and they can actually use that Harley Quinn, that Black Canary, all those characters can be put into that James Gunn version of this universe.
Who do you think the Flash is then? If it's not going to be, if Peacemaker said I've met the Flash and he was basically a dick. Yeah. What Flash did he meet? I am so curious if this is another version of Barry Allen, or is it even Barry Allen?
If you remember the comic books, though, Wally West was annoying to a lot of people, so he might become a Wally West Flash. So I mean, I don't know, because what was Wally West, Barry, and Bart? I think the main three people think when it comes to the Flash. Bart Impulse was not much of a jerk. He was just a kid because he aged too fast. Everybody loved Barry Allen, but Wally West did annoy a lot of people.
But Barry Allen also could have moments of being extremely effing annoying and boring too.
And then
we're
also forgetting that Peacemaker doesn't like a lot of other people. Like a lot of superheroes he doesn't like because they have more clout than he does. So he could just be talking outside of his neck. But at the same time, if we're talking about the different Flashes, Wally West was annoying to people, kind of like Guy Gardner. So I mean, like, it just,
that would be
we weren't as bad as Guy Gardner.
Wally West in DCU. I'm here for it. I just think that's interesting if that's what James Gunn is doing, saying this is not Ezra Miller's Flash. This is
a completely different Flash.
Completely different Flash. I really want to know. I want cameos from half the people he says he's met. So I really want to see this. So yeah, that was just something I found when he name dropped the Flash. I'm like, which Flash? Which Earth Flash are we talking about?
Because, as a matter of fact, in Shazam, when Superman came down to the school to meet the kids and all that stuff, I'm like, and all excited and all this shit. That Superman's outfit was very reminiscent of the classic Superman. I'm not saying classic, more like the Golden Age of Superman, because of the brightness of the colors and stuff, without all the extra armor and ridges.
So it also look a little bit like the Man of Steel.
You think so? I mean, we only kind of
that little snake-like, like it has that snake-like fabric, kind of look like a little bit like Henry Cavill's first suit.
Well, then again, I retract my statements. I didn't see that movie only one time, so I need to watch it again.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch it again. I have to make sure that we're just talking at my ass. But I could have swore that was.
I mean, you're probably right. Seriously,
because they didn't show his face because they hadn't confirmed him whether or not they were going to recast him, but they did show him, from the chest down to establish, at least we got the Kryptonian insignia, so we know it's Superman. But I just thought that was interesting. But so that's something we need to put on a little question mark. Which version of the Flash were they talking about in Peacemaker? So want to know. All right, so let's get to the juice, the Kool-Aid, the jungle juice of it all. Adebayo discovered the shocking truth that most of us figured out, especially when we saw him drinking the same crap.
Yeah, come on
now. That Myrn is in fact a butterfly,
fluttered by a butterfly,
but hardcore knowing, just coming in and be like, oh yeah, I figured it out. Basically you're just late. To me, that's fucking hilarious. The fact that John, his name is John, right? I always mess his name up. John, the hacker that always saves everybody's life. He's always saving the day.
It's so funny. He keeps coming in at the last minute.
The last person you think that would be effective is the one that saves everybody. But he knows. He's just putting his hands in his ears. He's like, I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I do.
Well, I think it's interesting that the only person that quote unquote doesn't know is Adebayo, and of course through her Amanda Waller. which we all know that Amanda Waller knows. Nothing that woman doesn't know. So like that's full of shit. But so yeah, having that revelation come out was interesting. But like true to form with all comic book plots, whenever something like that comes to light and you are not a main character, you know you're about to die. Yeah. Like as soon as you see the build, yep, your timer is out. Which
that was a matter of time.
Yeah,
because what do you do with him after the fact? What happens next? You know what I mean?
Yep. So then Murn's like, talking about how he took over the body of Murn, basically. And he's like, this guy was complete waste of space. He was a killer, blah, blah, blah. He said, but then when I took him over, I realized he actually had potential to change. It's like, well, it's too late now. So now we confirm that when a butterfly basically takes over your body,
that's it.
It kills you. You're dead. Everything about you is gone. I mean, it can take your memories, or basically, but what makes you and makes you alive is gone.
Because it looks like it attaches to the cerebral cortex.
Yep.
And that's death. So death. So that's enough of that.
And a painful death. We see that later on.
Oh man.
So
when she gets the butterflies on her mouth, she's convulsing and coughing up blood. It's like, no, she is dead as shit.
Yep. I was like, that's a mess.
Peacemaker does that thing where it's like you can't get attached to any characters because they could just die on you, but they do in a way that's so fucking entertaining. And it's like they're not gonna come back, but I don't know why. That was just really cool to watch, and that was just really strange. They made the Body Snatchers a comedy, and it's just like I don't know how y'all managed to do that, but amazing.
It does look like when it happens later on in the episode, that is actually it does look, and I'm not saying it didn't look painful, but it also did look kind of comical at the same time. Mm-hmm. But all right, so Augie. Daddy of the year. He is let out of prison because Detective Song went to her. I think it's her uncle who's the judge to get a warrant to go after Peacemaker. Went above the new captain, who is also a butterfly's head.
Oh no, he wasn't a butterfly yet. Let me turn to butterfly later.
I thought he was the inside man. And he was okay.
No. Okay, so this is why I like that character. For one, his fake crying, trying to act like he cared, and then describing the Hamburglar as the person who shot those people.
That's awesome.
But it's so like what's been clearly established is when he was talking about Murn being inside Murn's body, this man's a killer. He's a serial killer, and the guy who has to help, probably helped him kill people back in the day. Remember when all the butterflies came to the office, they got into him too. That's why he was walking down the hallway trying to learn how to smile. Because
to be fair, there were so many people getting butterflied. I stopped paying
attention. It does. It
became like that Netflix drama I was telling you about. We are all dead. Well, the Netflix, like in the trailer, if you watch it, and all the kids are in the cafeteria, and the zombies start coming in. that's what that shit was reminiscent for me. Like I was like, it's on.
Okay. It's like I do know that this is and it was actually kind of a dead giveaway that. Murn was because they kept giving hints that Murn was not Murn throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
And another big clue was when he called his buddy down there to keep Peacemaker from going to jail and handle that shit. The way he was talking to him was that he knew him, but it was very dismissive. And it was very like, just get it done. As in the butterfly didn't like him as a person. They know what he liked what his person was either. Like he's clearly very nonviolent. So It made when I think about it now, I was like, oh, that was a hint that Murn is not Murn. Clearly, he's not who he says he is.
Yeah, I guess if I see it from that perspective, the fact that Murn and everyone that turns into a butterfly seems to act more like a Stepford wife or a Stepford person. Mm-hmm. And this guy obviously was getting offended by what Detective Swan was doing. I could see that. I could see that. But so because of Swan, White Dragon is now out of jail. And what does he want to do?
Kill his son. Because that's what you do. You get out of jail, you have sex with a hooker, and then you go, have a tall glass of infanticide. And that's fine, or filicide. I'm sorry, not infanticide, filicide. Wrong word.
Filicide.
Yes, filicide. Infanticide, he's not an infant. Filicide. Killing your son. Because that's what you do. That's the best course.
Now, I'm just going to say this because, we are talking about episodes 6 and 7. So in order to keep with plot, instead of me just saying this is episode 6 and this is episode 7, let's just talk shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So we learned this backstory of what really went down between these two brothers. With
oh my God. Wasn't that fucking ridiculous? That's so tragic.
So what gets me in my feelings, but actually is probably the best thing James Gunn could have done, because it shows you how much of a douchebag Augie really is. That the reason that Peacemaker kills his brother is that the father has been basically taking bets and pitting them against each other in fights like they're in a dog fight. And dogfights are already messed up all on their own. But when you do it with your children, that is problematic as hell. So they were listening to music and bonding, and you could tell the brothers really love each other. They like spending time together, and it's their dad that is the absolute problem. And a scene that stood out for me that kind of showed me where the brothers were is when they were listening to music, and the older brother, he was doing like the rock and roll piece, out our devil's horns for rock and roll. And he's like, and the first thing that little Chris says is that white power? And he's like, no, dude, this is about rock and roll. Fuck that shit, basically. So I thought that was very cool.
It was actually it was a wholesome moment that ended up being a terrible one. And actually, what was
and their last moment, their last hangout together, that's so hard. And so the reason I like this, they established this scene, is that it makes you really appreciate the fact that Augie is a piece of shit, because he instantly blamed Chris for the death of his son when he's the one who had them fight against each other with no rules, no hard, barred to begin with. And we both know that if the older brother had killed the younger brother, he would have been completely okay with that.
Yep.
So
he was mad anyway because they were listening to rock and roll and shit. And he thought that shit was,
even though the older brother's the one that got Chris into it. That's what gets me. But yeah, so everything, I felt bad for Chris as a whole, because it really shows you how he was raised. And then you have to see, if you look at Peacemaker and you separate the Suicide Squad movie, and you just look at how he was raised by Augie and how he actually turned out, and him having actual morals about and not wanting to kill people, just for the hell of it.
Yep.
There's no reason for him to be that way with that type of upbringing. He should be the most racist and homicidal person like in this whole universe.
That's what's cool about that. That's what's cool about that final scene with his brother. It's like that last scene with his brother was like a defining moment for him. Is that from that point it was like, in my brother's memory, I'm gonna keep on this whole love people thing. It's probably why I became Peacemaker, if anything. Because that traumatized him. And what's neat about it is that, and this is me just being like particular, and that's something I've noticed. When Chris threw the last punch at his brother, he hit him in his temple directly. And I noticed they did that. I was like, that was very well done. Pretty clever and well done. And I'm going to assume that his dad or their dad made them dogfight a lot for cash, which is
I mean, they seemed pretty comfortable. They weren't nervous about it. They were walking in like this is what they did on the daily.
Exactly. That's very trailer trash of them. But to be realistic, if you have your kids out there throwing bows like every other day or so for some else's amusement, there's no telling how much head trauma they both taken. You hit somebody in the temple like that with a straight up, like with your knuckle coming to the side with all your weight behind it, that can cause a whole break. That cause a seizure like that.
Yep.
And
I mean that I will say they did the research in terms of
they did.
Where to injure somebody and how to kill them. So I think especially if you look at the size, consider he was a lot smaller. It kind of shows you that Peacemaker is not the idiot. Yes, he's not book smart. Yes, he says things that are just off the cuff, and he believes things he Googles. But at the same time, if you look at Peacemaker's character as a whole, and then pit him against everybody else in the team, he's actually the most evolved person out of all of them.
I mean, he just says it. Like he drops that in the show. He says, like, I figured out doing this would help me, like, become a better person. And like when he was keeping a butterfly, he can keep in touch with his more, like, with his more feminine side and become like embrace the sensitivity, his actual humanistic nature they know he has.
But I like when they ask him when we have the butterfly as a pet, and Vigilante's like, well, why do you keep him as a pet? And he's like, basically he starts breaking down like psychology. He's like, I'm having issues with masculinity and also, coping with shit. And I figure like if I just had this dangerous pet, it would help me.
He literally pulls a director's note on his own character. It's like, what the? That's meta as hell. Why would you? You said
he self-evaluates himself and Vigilante all the effing time, and people don't see that he's absolutely correct in what he's saying.
When we watched it, and Vigilante kept when we were trying to comfort Peacemaker, like, oh, there, that's Vigilante is sociopathic as shit. That man.
Well, Vigilante, I know he doesn't understand the concept of emotion. Well, look how simple though he is. He has no problem walking in and blowing a family away, but yet he gets on there and he's talking to the butterfly and like Peacemaker's like yes or no questions. Yes, no questions.
He's like, what's your favorite color?
He's like,
is your favorite color? Is your favorite color teal? Why would you assume teal? What is that about?
Not only why would you assume teal, and why would you not understand that he can't answer you this way? Like yes or no questions. So yeah, I love the evolution of Peacemaker. I think that if you hated him in Suicide Squad at this point in time, you should effing love him.
Truth be told, I didn't hate him in Suicide Squad.
I didn't either.
I didn't hate him. I hated Weasel. That's an ugly looking character. But like, as far as personality for the characters are concerned, there's not one I was like, I can't wait till they die. I didn't have that mindset on any of them. I agree with Rat King, like. I agree with that. I mean, Rat Catcher. I said Rat King. I'm on the wrong fucking series.
I was gonna say Rat King wasn't it. Well, the daddy was in the cameo flashback.
I'm Rat King. I'm thinking about Ninja Turtles in that one because they're both called Rat Catcher and Rat Catcher 2. Rat King is not in the DC.
No, but it would be cool. It would be cool if Rat King was, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other thing. I don't even know what. I mean, because like it's weird. The Turtles were transformed into the Turtles from the same ooze that made Daredevil blind. Yet they helped Batman and fighting and DC video games. I don't know. I guess we're just different.
Yeah, well, DC just needed a crossover. That's what that shit was. But, I mean, I'm probably go out there and see Batman and Scooby Doo together at one point.
I'm surprised that they've had that before. Batman and Robin episode of Scooby Doo. That was years ago. Yeah, that was like in the early.
And I was pulling that out of my ass too. That's great.
Yeah, back when used to have when they have guest star stuff come on, like Don Knotts and all that stuff. Batman and Robin was on an episode. I remember that now. That's
we got to find that because I need to see. I know it
exists. I mean, Scooby Doo was with Supernatural. That was an actual funny episode. I actually highly enjoyed it. It was funny just hearing Daphne go, "Am I gonna go to hell?" Like,
oh my god,
Shaggy would have broken arm talking about something. I told you, man, this stuff is dangerous, but no, you don't want to listen to me. Because they were freak. Because now on the show, there's no real ghosts and stuff. There's a real ghost in the world, and like Sam and Dean and Castiel would reveal it to them. Sorry if you haven't watched the episode, spoilers. But like,
what you said, sorry. Stop talking about it. Don't you spoil that for them. What if they're trying to binge watch? They could be on Netflix watching that right now. You just messing it all up. Stop it.
Whatever. Like they don't know how it ends. They don't know how it ends. I didn't tell about it ends.
Anyway, back to our Peacemaker and Lost Your Mind. Yeah. Anyway, see, we haven't had power, guys. We were out of power for a while. I was actually out longer than Groove. Groove got hot water before I did. I was so sad.
Yeah, she was.
And then this morning it went out for like an hour and a half. I was pissed. I was like, no, you're not.
For us, I think it went out, 3 different times. The first time it went out, we get flicker a lot at first, and then it went out for a while, and then it came back on like for a night, then it went off again that day, then it came back on. It's been on since then. And
ours went out at it was like 10:15 a.m. or something like that on Thursday morning. We got it back Monday evening. And then this morning it went out at 10 a.m. And then we got it back about 1 something.
Yeah, that's what happened to us too. Like it came back on, and then it went out. I think it went out for us like around 6:30 or like 5, something like 6:30, 6 o'clock.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Okay, I was watching Peacemaker episode 6 on my little Samsung phone, this size phone, in 16-degree weather, in my home with no lights, with weighted blankets. That is fucking dedication. Fucking dedication. Anyway, just saying. So this review here. Hard one. All right, so we're back to I think we talked about the fact that we definitely like Peacemaker a lot more. Quite frankly, they had my ass at the opening. I'm sorry, that opening, that every time I watch there's some shows you don't have to watch the opening. I enjoy the opening of Peacemaker tremendously.
It's funny that at the end of each episode, the opening, they're like breathing hard. You can tell they've been like they really danced that.
They're really dancing. I love how serious they all look doing that.
Yeah, no one smiles. It's just like
nobody's smiling. All right, so back to the situation here. So let's just go by. We're gonna go ahead and break this down real quickly because we don't want to be here for the rest of the night when you guys, we haven't had a good stream. So we're gonna do it and then talk about it. So we're already talking about Peacemaker and Vigilante. The journey of Vigilante this entire season has been insane. He went from basically, I'm the BFF of Peacemaker, my idol, to now like he's kind of doing his own thing, but his own thing is as a support character that's a sociopath. So he's like, I'll get the car, I'll shoot the people, I got you, but don't make me have feelings about it. And I don't want to feel anything. I don't know how to feel anything. The man there's something wrong with him. He needs his own show. He really does.
What is it called when you don't think you feel is fear and anger? Was that that's schizophrenia? It's is that psychopath?
Schizophrenia is completely different.
I think it's psychopath. He's a psychopath. That's what that is. Because he doesn't see. When I'm taking that back, I'm lying. Because he can feel things. Because he does get embarrassed and get his feelings hurt. But I don't know if that's a source of fear for him or what. Because he really doesn't seem to understand a lot of social growth. Maybe he's autistic. He's just autistic and violent. I don't know. Because his ability to recognize social cues and pay attention to stuff is like, what is wrong with you? Why don't you?
Well, so something happens in the episode, remember, and how he reacts to it. He's like, "You're doing your facial exercises."
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking crying.
No, he's fucking emotion. But remember though, one time before he was getting ready to cry, and he said, "No, I'm doing facial exercise." And he was sitting on the bench or whatever. I mean, on the porch. He seems to. I don't know what his vigilante. He knows how to kill people. He knows how to be stealthy. He can get things done when he needs to get things done. But he is social.
He doesn't think when he kills. I think if he thought about it or thought about the person, he may not be able to do it. I will tell you this though: Vigilante versus White Dragon, that would be a fight I would love to see, because when he rolled in that jail in episode, I think it was 4, might have been 3 or 4. I mean, had they not separated them, he was gonna kill White Dragon.
Oh yeah, White Dragon's ass was dead. That wasn't happening. White Dragon was not gonna win that fight.
He was not. Suit. He rolled up to that table and he was like,
I mean, even then, with the suit on, Vigilante already knew to attack the head where it attached. Because that's obviously where the suit was powered. It had to be. And I was like, but Peacemaker didn't figure that out. Like, Vigilante is, I don't know what to call him. He is a combat genius. He really is.
He's a strategic genius, but I feel like he doesn't have, so I don't want to say he doesn't have critical thinking skills. He has critical thinking skills when it comes to getting out of shit and murder. But outside of that, he doesn't have critical thinking skills. It's such a weird conundrum of a character. It's so weird.
I think he's just socially slow or something. I don't know. He just doesn't read the room. He doesn't get social cues. He doesn't understand that. He can't.
It's like he has social retardation.
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
Because he's like, you can't infer what's going on here. Like, why are you like, no, it's probably this, wusses. Like, are you not paying attention? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Even like when he had them, like whatever else, he said, I got some rope. You can use duct tape. No, that would hurt him. Like you had no qualms with shooting them, but you don't want to use duct tape on their skin. Yeah. Like he said, a matter of fact, you're like, yeah, wouldn't you?
So then let's cut to so Detective Swan already got Augie out of jail. Augie's first thing is, I'm going to kill my son because that's practical. And which again does not track with me a lot, because he kept making tech for Peacemaker. So you don't like your son, you think it's a waste of space, you call it your weakness, and then you want to kill him because you think he's the one that put you in jail, even though he has no idea that it was actually John that did that shit. But like, you were making tech for him. Yeah,
Vigilante. That's what happened.
So that I will say, Augie's character is the least developed, but most confusing to me in a way. If you think about his motivation,
he's just a piece of shit. Like he's
a piece of shit. But the piece of shit, when you are a POS, you don't do things for the person you loathe, the person you think is, as he says in this episode 7, my biggest test. You're the test against my religion, my self-proclaimed religion, my racist, journey, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's very confusing because he took care of Eagly.
Yeah.
He gave him helmet. If his dad hadn't given him the helmet in the first episode, Peacemaker would have been dead. So he is such a confusing effing character to me. Like,
I think really. If we're going to try to psychoanalyze him, I'm being armchair psychiatrist right now, or armchair psychiatrist at this point. I really think that he didn't hate his sons primarily, but I think he knew. No, I don't think he knew what he did was his fault, and with his guilt and shame, he put the blame on someone else because he is a very ignorant man. Like he's a scientifically sound as hell. Just kind of like Vigilante is smart in his own way, but when it comes to his pride and things as a human being, he puts himself on this pedestal of I'm superior because once again he's a racist asshole. So when it comes to taking blame for his own actions and I guess recognizing his own weaknesses and come to terms with himself as being a human more than just a weapon or an item, he can't do it and doesn't want to. So like he was happy with Peacemaker, hurting somebody who's ethnic and all that stuff, and that entertains him. Like he has a very weird soldier syndrome where it's like if it ain't killing, then it ain't worth it. Kind of like how Major Payne was in Major Payne. He was very, like sir, no sir. That was his entire personality until the kids made him soft. So like, where they kind of loosen him up basically a bit, not entirely because he's still Major Payne, right? But I think he doesn't know how to do the guilt and shame. So instead of like, it's like the kind of person is like if he's the kind of person like if your computer's not working, instead of trying to troubleshoot it and if the problem is get it fixed, he'll just break it and go buy a new one. That's his mindset. So like,
I do agree on some level. I do think that is a lot of what's going on with him as a person. But I guess to add on to that, what's so confusing to me, again, to do these things when your son's not is in jail or off doing with suicide squad, blah, blah, blah. You're taking care of his bird. When he came to the house, you talk shit about him, basically said all this crap, but you still made him dinner. Yeah. So it's like, but yet we know that he preferred the older boy.
Yeah.
And he actually wishes it was the older boy that was alive, but nothing from the flashback that we saw with the older son indicates that he was on board with anything his dad was doing either.
He wasn't. Clearly,
he was listening to the devil's music, and he's the one that introduced Chris to it. So, like, it just the whole thing is a conundrum to me. I'm like, I don't understand this family.
I think it's just because he was the firstborn, and dad was like, "That's my first son." The second one, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure those two don't have the same mom. But I mean, like.
Well, talk about so since we're talking about Augie, let's just go straight through what happens to him. So because he decides to kill Chris, right? He starts searching for Chris. Now something goes down, and we'll circle back. But Chris and John and Vigilante decide to go take out the cow of the episode. And if you don't know what the cow is basically the one alien to feed them all. All the butterflies can only eat with this alien cow, basically, for lack of a better word. That's what it is. From their world that produces food because they can't have anything but this. I mean, just think about how messed up that is. It's like you can only have almond milk for the rest of your life. You can't have nothing else on the whole damn planet. That's what that cow is. Well, while they're out to go on this mission to kill this cow, Augie and his white supremacist boys decide to go hunt down Peacemaker through the helmet that he's carrying because he has a tracker on it. And long story short, first of all, Vigilante was badass as hell because he literally pulled out a grenade that was this close to him and threw the fucking grenade down to let them get away.
It was very metal.
I'm like, that man is not. He's a strategic genius, but at the same time, damn, he would do anything.
I swear, I thought he bit it. I was like, "Dang, he's killed Vigilante."
Like he literally just swims and you saw the pieces on the ground. I'm like, it's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
But like, no, he's not dead. He's really hurt.
Vigilante is the ultimate baby's kid. He does not die. He multiplies. So we have Augie and them still, chasing down, Peacemaker. And we got some revelations. I don't know if anybody paid attention to some of the stuff that Dad was saying because he says a lot of racist shit and a lot of homophobic stuff. But he says you laid down with those women of questionable backgrounds. And I'm PCing it right now. I'm not saying what he actually said. Yeah. But basically, you know what he was saying because he had interracial relations. And then he said you slept with women and men. So he already implied that Peacemaker is bisexual. Just from that statement.
It's either that or Peacemaker has had sex with trans people, like maybe in top. Who knows?
Or all of the above.
It's just
because they really have not established.
They haven't at all.
So I mean, they really could go either way with Peacemaker. So I thought that was interesting.
I want to say he wouldn't outwardly do it because how macho he behaves, but usually when people like over. Like masculine, like when men get too masculine and over, like come like, yeah, no, I'm a man's man. Usually it's like, You say that.
I mean, we already see how sensitive he is. I mean, the whole episode with the diary. Do I look like somebody that would write a diary? And John's like, well, in the beginning, I wouldn't have thought so, but now, we'll talk about that too. So,
that's so fucking funny.
That whole situation was very revealing. I do not like the fact that Eagly got hurt, and Eagly is a bad.
Eagly was fucking people up. Eagly was not playing.
He was pulling people's eyeballs out. He was not.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Samurai Showdown. Eagly was like Mama, like the bird, eagle, the falcon that the girl has. Yeah, it's like he was sick and Eagly. He had the sick eagle and shit. Eagly like he understood the assignment. He was like, okay.
My job is to just take fools out. That's it.
Eagly had the whole Eagle's like, no, they got my boy. No. Like, whoa. And then, I mean,
Eagly was flexing on people. It was I don't even know what they expected. I guess they underestimated this bird. Because Eagly is not, he's more effective than John is. He just popped.
I will say this though.
They're like, he's like, I was already 5 miles ahead. What the hell are you doing?
I will say this though. In the part when he did mention about his son sleeping with men or whatever, he did. He make a face kind of like, what? So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't know it. I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is that right there, as a queer person, I was like, question mark. That is a question mark.
Yeah, because I don't know what James Gunn's gonna do with that. I don't know.
I don't know what he was planning to do with that, but they bring everything into the progressiveness of it all and things, whether you for better or worse, however you feel about it. This could be another thing that they're doing with Peacemaker, because again, Peacemaker is not this major player in the comics, so he can do whatever the hell they want with him.
They can do what they want with him. He's such a carte blanche character. Actually,
that's what it is.
They'll probably make him like an Archer thing. Was like, no, I didn't. Archer, we all know what you do when you go here or here or here. Like a weird rare form of herpes that I don't know where you got from.
Oh Lord,
I like that cartoon. Archer's funny as hell to me. But yeah, but no, there might be. I don't know what James Gunn's plan.
I don't know what his plan is for that. But
if they do make him bisexual, that'd be like, oh. Okay.
I think once again, like every other time they make especially a comic book themed character, anything other than heterosexual, the internet will have words and it will break. It's just what it is.
But I mean, dude, he has sex with that guy's wife with Vigilante, and like, he
had a threesome, which means in a threesome, there's a possibility that those two also got it on with each other. I mean, we don't know.
I will say this: to do a threesome, because there's somebody of the same gender there somewhere. To be comfortable with it doesn't necessarily mean you're into that sexuality, but you had to be on some kind of comfort level to keep going. So I mean, like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I want to see.
Yeah, we're gonna put a question mark there, girl. Yeah, it is a question mark.
I am curious
because we already know they're trying to get hardcore and him together. That's the track. It looks like it's going down. But
even though it'd be kind of neat to see it, I don't want it. I want it to end off with the whole like, no, not quite.
I mean, who knows how it's going to end? I mean, that's the beauty of it. We have, I mean, everybody at this point except him is expendable, and him and Eagly. But all right, so the best thing in the world was the confrontation between Chris and his dad, and his dad saying all the shiz, and his dad trying to blast him with these like plasma cannons that he has for arms. Because, dude, now I don't remember White Dragon in the comics being this high tech. I'm gonna be real with you. He was racist as shit. I don't remember.
He wasn't that high tech. They gave him. They gave that suit so much more priority.
They gave him some Iron Man type like skills without the budget. I'm trying to figure that shit out. How the hell are he paying for all this? I don't know.
I know he was flying around and stuff. He had a pocket dimension he created. Like, when the hell was White Dragon that smart? When did White Dragon become some Vandal Savage type? Actually, no, Vandal Savage is not a genius.
No.
Well, no.
No, I'm telling you, this was like Stark level tech, but on a trailer. It really was, actually. I'm trying to figure all of this out.
Actually, no, that's bullshit. It was Time Lord level tech. He had a pocket dimension on the side of his house. He had it when it was bigger on the inside. That's not.
He had like a Power Ranger layer in the like a sword on popping in the tube. I'm like, what the hell is White Dragon got? I mean, where are you getting this kind of? I mean, I understand you've been like the head of this white supremacy group, and they think of you as a king, and they're bound to you like fucking Queen Elizabeth meets Hitler, but I mean, I don't understand when you get in the cloud. This is another thing. I don't know if Arrowverse has affected DCU in the plot point of money because Chris has no job. Like, they don't pay him to go kill people in their group. I don't know how boy pays for anything. I'll be real with you. So
he don't pay for nothing.
He don't need money. I mean, the only person needs money, obviously, is to be fair, this whole actual thing is my girl, Ambediah, because she took the job because her clinic, her dog shelter rescue got closed down, and they were in debt, and they needed to make some money, and they're from Gotham, of course.
You know what's funny? When she said that, like, let's go back to Gotham.
I'm like, because it's safer there.
And I'm saying to myself, for one, to say it's safer in Gotham is fucking crazy. And two, you're living in Gotham.
We're going to come back to you guys, but I got to say this. Check this out. How much do you want to bet the White Dragon stole that tech from Mr. Terrific and just took credit for it? I mean, yeah.
He appropriated Mr. Terrific's tech. That is fucking hilarious. And easily noticeable and understood. Like, no, that's what he did.
Yeah,
I can believe that.
But
that makes sense.
What gets on my nerves is he's got all this tech, and obviously he doesn't have the stamina anymore to use it, because even with the tech, he was getting his ass handed to him by a bird, by Vigilante, and by Chris. And when the blasters didn't work anymore, and Chris started railing on him, saying, "You're the reason my brother's dead. You put us in fucking ring like we're dog fighting," which, by the way, we don't support that either. And so he's beating the hell out of his dad, and his dad's like, "I will always be in your life. I will always," like, he's doing this whole thing like psychological, like, you can't get rid of me. And he just shoots him in the head. I was like,
this is what I like about that. I like that twofold. One, he was beating his dad's ass and had a complete catharsis therapy breakthrough. He stopped blaming himself for his brother's death. It wasn't me that killed him. You killed him. I didn't do this. Like, I may have, my hands were in it, but it's not my fault.
He literally said, he said, the only thing that I regret is listening to you.
Exactly. But then when he shot him, it was like, I don't know if you've ever played Fable 2, but in the game Fable 2, in the end, the last boss, you just shoot him in the fucking face. You don't have to do anything. He's trying to give you this grandizing speech. He's like, this and this, you will understand one day. He's put anticlimactic, but like, that's really what it was. It was very Fable 2-esque, and I was like,
I'm telling you right now.
I'm glad he's dead, though. Can't stand
that whole scene, and the way it was smooth, though, because normally they have the whole struggling, shaking the gun moment. Nah, he just shot him right damn head. He's like, no, like, and then he cried, and I love that was like his closure for the fact that his dad was a waste of fucking space. And I get it, so I have a not a very good relationship with my dad. So I mean, I'm not saying I want to shoot him in the head. I'm just saying that I get what it's like to finally say, you know what, this is not. I've been gaslighting and listening to your ass for so long, and this is not good. So
easily one of those things where it was like, when I saw him crying, at first I was like, oh, that hurt him take his father out. And I was like, no, he's not crying because he killed his dad. He's crying because he had a breakthrough. He gets it, and it hurts.
He's crying because he has closure now. He understands that this was what's been holding him back his whole damn life, was his dad.
Like, just so y'all know out there who's listening, closure is not always relieving. Closure can be painful as hell sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But like, once it's over, it's like, oh, and I can breathe better. But sometimes closure fucking hurts. And that must have been a painful bit of closure for him to come to grips with that and, get that good last cry out. Like, I don't know, y'all been to one of those funerals where it really hurt you, and you get that one last good cry. Like, all right, I'm good. Let's go eat something. Let's go eat and drink. And get my mind off this. It's like that sometimes. So like, oh
yeah, I mean, real talk. I mean, Groove already has experienced that with me because he was at my previous spouse's funeral. Yeah. So we what that's like, having that closure.
It is hard.
Like, it is hard. Yep. All right. So let's talk about, now we're going back to Detective Song. Then we're going to go to Ambediah, and then we're going to go to Mern's Fate. And
my brain heard Detective Song. My brain heard that song. Like, my brain heard Doctor songs. Like, what? Like, oh, no, not that song. There was a song.
Well, I feel like before I get the Doctor Song, I gotta say it again because we got.
You said Doctor too now.
We got stop. We got a name drop. We got a name drop and give props to my boy John, because that's what I mean. He just gets into things, and he's unwilling to do everything, but he's the one that usually ends up saving the day every effing time. It's like that is his role. And I mean, let's be clear, when they were all about to have their shit handed to them by the residual white supremacists, John came out with a damn machine gun, started shooting.
The man came out
started shooting everybody.
He came out with a full RCP and just open fired.
Yep.
And shot everybody. And
shot absolutely everybody.
It was it's like a work of art. He just got it was same thing with it was like the bear situation all over. I mean, the gorilla situation all over again. He just comes through in the clutch.
The gorilla, him with the, basically with the van when he was driving and he was crashing into what the hell, his name just went out of my damn head. Yes. Judo Master. So like when he hit him with that, because then nobody could subdue him, and he hits him with the Winnebago or whatever. I mean, he's always in the right place at the right time. I guess to him, the right place, the wrong time.
Honestly,
saves the day.
My favorite thing about his character in martial arts world, that's actually a form of Zen and a good strategy. You need to stay on the defense and wait until the opening is actually there. He's a coward, yes, but he's strategic. He's a coward, but he's not a dumb coward. So it's like, I'm gonna hide.
You know what he reminds me of, if you look at it from a Marvel DC perspective, with one being overpowered and one having no power?
What's that?
He's literally a scared and non-powered version of Loki. Right? Yeah, just blew your mind. Just blew your mind.
I didn't even think about that one. That's actually that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
He's pretty much the yin to Loki's yang, but they have the same outcome. And I think that to me is cool. So there you go. Yep. Anybody ever makes that comparison in the future? Remember, Approach the Nerd said that shit right here.
That'd be very crazy. I didn't even put those together. That's actually very true.
I think it's very funny. And I think he was motivated also in that one scene with the gun, because he just watched Vigilante take a pee with his pants, his ass all hanging out. He's like, why are you taking a pee with your pants down?
Why are you touching my butt?
So yeah, I'm sure after that, John was like, I'm gonna shoot every mother up here. I can't get that out of my head.
When you're a grown man, it has to completely drop trow to pee.
Yep.
It's like, I swear, my song sounds like Vigilante. Are you 4? What are you doing? What is this?
I mean, man? I'm just saying. All right, so let's get back to Detective Song. So Song got Augie out of jail, episode 6. She went above the captain's head. He wasn't happy about it because her uncle is a judge, so she got a search warrant. So she decides to go to Peacemaker's house. When they're doing their questioning the butterfly in the jar, yes or no question, Finasco, which is hilarious. And then they show up at the house, and they, of course, Mern's trying to call him and be like, hey, because he gets warned by the captain. They're going to Peacemaker's house to get him. And I love that there's like he's able to crawl up onto the sunroof, like through the sunroof, and then like hide up on top of the building. And nobody thought to look up there for some damn reason. Like, let's check to see if he's on the roof of the damn house. But they're all in the house and basically looking around. And of course, Song, being a person that for some reason has a vendetta against Peacemaker. I don't know if it's because of the dad's a piece of shit. She just assumes that the son is one too. I don't know if it's because of his record of being in jail, but she has a vendetta against Peacemaker. And she was trying to arrest him big as shit.
She was like, she wanted justice to be served. She has that Conan Edogawa complex. One truth will prevail. But like, chick, you arrested a grand dragon. Like,
seriously.
Just call it a win and just call it a win and move on. At least he's not on the streets. You know what I mean? Like, is this really the fight you want? This is really where you want to take this, honestly?
But what's really interesting, if you think about it, her decision to do that, it was a linchpin in her demise and a linchpin to this whole damn story.
Because when you do too much.
Yep. So like by Peacemaker not stepping on the original fucking butterfly in the beginning, keeping it as a pet. That was one thing that I will say Peacemaker, kind of fucked up. But having Song decide to go after Peacemaker, all costs, no matter what, justice must be served. Literally, she signed her own effing death warrant. Because when she went to that house, that butterfly went right in her and killed her. And then she became the butterfly.
Yep.
And I thought, wow, I don't know. I didn't dislike the character. I love her snarky, sarcastic comebacks at Augie's racist crap that she used to pull on them. So I really loved how quick her mind worked in that way. But at the same time, this obsession with Peacemaker got her effing killed, and also is probably going to get somebody else killed or hurt or whatever because she's the one that released all of the other butterflies to come and take over everybody.
Best well enough alone.
She did not come to that conclusion. So yeah, as much as I like Detective Song, I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, well,
actually, speaking of that whole scene, going back to what you said about Peacemaker liking men, his ringtone was, Barbie Girl by Aqua. So I'm gonna point that out. I'm gonna point that out. Just saying,
Oh Lord.
Just gonna let that float in the ether.
Let it flow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, a mouth's a mouth, right?
Yeah. So
hey, I'm just gonna say, I don't want to throw any, but if y'all want an argument and somebody says Peacemaker, no, he's a man's man, just remind them he had Barbie Girl by Aqua playing his ringtone now. That was just his ringtone.
That could be a vigilante question. Need you to stop hating on people.
I'm just saying when people have that argument, it's like, no, that's bullshit. No. Hey, his ringtone was Barbie Girl.
It's true. Can't argue with that.
Vigilante question, he was like, whatever. And don't forget, he likes a lot of romantic hairband songs. I'm just gonna I'm putting that right there.
I see. Groove just needs to know now. Groove needs to know the question. He's looking for evidence now. So we have that whole situation with Song. So Song is now releasing basically everything Mern did not want to happen now is happening. And the inside guy that he had in to prevent this from happening, well, obviously was compromised. So now they're like, what the hell? The first thing they did though was go and take Mern out. And that was that was so effed up. I thought that whole
he was like the other butterfly said, he was actually the one, I can't remember the actor's name, the guy who was in Scary Movie 1. I every time I see him on the screen, I think about the first Scary Movie. Because he played the white jock in that movie, was like, nobody says anything or I'll kill you myself. It was for all of you, because he's a comedic actor. That's why it's funny to see him in a serious role. But like, he was like, you killed him. And she was just like, he was a warrior. Like, can't get rid of him because he'll do something. What is funny is like, oh, he's like Optimus.
It did seem like, it seemed to be like a big thing that they, they can't kill each other. They're not supposed to kill each other. That's like something that they don't do. So he was kind of like, he even looked at her weird when she walked away after she said that. What do you expect me to do? But the fact that she said, the rest of his group, and that he's referring to this group, but I'm starting to wonder if Judo Master is a part of his group too, if he has a butterfly in him as well.
So I got a running theory on that one. This is what I've been watching so far. So hear me out. I'm the butterfly that possessed Song might be the what was it, the insect queen? What do they call her? I can't remember.
I remember what you're talking about. I don't remember her name though.
I can't remember right now. But anyway, it could be because with the weird honey stuff that she would have around everything might be the same character. I don't know, because the butterfly thing is not as new as hell to the DC universe period. But be that as it may, I'm starting to feel like, because remember when the I don't know if butterfly's a male or who cares? When the butterfly, when she was in the jar,
shit.
when she was in the jar, she's like the peace symbol, right? And Queen Bee. Thank you, Latina.
Queen Bee. Yeah. And they had another name, but they said that the names were not, we weren't able to say them with a human tongue and the sound. Yeah.
It makes sense when they talk with a whole bunch of.
I love that you just fight for that language. You sound like you're gargling with bad Listerine, but that's fine. Go ahead.
I mean, hey, kills all germs fast. Like, anyway, sorry, no. So as I was saying about something really messed up.
Look, when he gets philosophical, Maria breaks out the popcorn. So let's go.
There you go. So what I think is, she drew the peace symbol on the jar, and I think that was her way of saying, not that just she comes in peace, like let's truce. Because you can also see that as, or she was trying to get out, she can take over somebody, which will make perfect sense. But also, she has a certain amount of poise and calm. Like when she was talking to the partner at the time, I'm like, it's all going to be okay. Don't worry about it. I think the butterflies under her are trying to create kind of like trying to get a peaceful world on a hive mind concept.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Rick and Morty when he was messing with that energy. I can't remember what her name was, and he was bad for her. She over entire planet and made them better people. But the problem is that when of course you kill people and do that, we don't want that. But I think that's what as that butterfly is trying to do with the rest of people. And I think the other one that was helping the humans is like you can't just kill people to make their world better and to take over, because at that point you're just colonizing a whole new world.
Well, yeah, that's what he was saying when Abediah called him out and said, "Well, you did it," and he's like, "Yes, I know it's hypocritical, and I feel shitty about it every day." I mean,
So I feel like what the butterflies are trying to do is trying to make the world peaceful, kind of like that movie Us, but in a less dark and like I didn't like Us that much, honestly, but in a less like on the nose sort of way. But I also feel like like they're not trying to be evil, harmful people, obviously, but they're trying to make the world better, which I don't know how that's supposed to make any sense, which is still dumb because like Adebayo did say that she didn't tell her mother about Mern being a butterfly, but I almost guarantee she knew that Mern was a butterfly.
Because let's talk about this, Jet. Come on, Gru. You are in a motion comic that I have made, Warriors of Sterret. And if you think about the situation we are discussing right now and the situation that's happening in that comic book, there's a similar setup in terms of aliens. And so now my theory is it the same setup as what I've created in my brain when I first conceived this thing 14 years ago or 18 years ago. So,
but one thing I know about Peacemaker is there's a lot of very forward, blunt twisting for some crazy ass reason. Yeah. So like on a philosophical level, I get what it's weird. It's one of the things like it's almost like the Thanos snap almost. Like I get what the butterflies are trying to do, but don't enter my body and tell me what the fuck I'm like.
I mean, so Kevin's like sub plugging like a boss. I am.
She is.
To be clear, I have a character who is almost a direct translation to the Queen Bee in my story, and so
Maria,
it's helping me with my theory right now.
Stop giving away plot points. Hush.
I'm not giving. Trust me. There's so many plot points to this thing. I could tell you like stuff for the next 2 hours, and you still wouldn't get a third of it.
Yeah, good. Let them be like.
But think about this. So we understand that Mern was the outlier of their group, right?
Yeah.
But nobody said he was the only one.
He was definitely Optimus. That is true because the planet is full of butterflies. That we saw like in episode, was it 2 or 3? I can't remember.
2. I think it was 2, but I mean, I have to go back.
Full. It's like mutant X gene level of butterflies on the planet. It's ridiculous and crazy.
I'm really curious about Judo Master. Judo Master should be effing dead.
I was thinking the same thing. Seriously, he might be a butterfly, but like because okay.
Well, no, I don't know if he's okay. So this. Hear me out. The only reason I'm thinking that he may not be one, or if he is, he's an advanced version or a hybrid, is because he's eating those damn flaming Cheetos. And if they can only eat that, if he can only eat the stuff from the cow, then that doesn't make sense. But to be fair, the only thing we ever see him eat are these damn Cheetos. Yeah. So I don't know.
Nothing but junk food. But then again, he said to Peacemaker, the butterflies not what you think. He didn't speak to him in a way as if he knew them personally, but like something else. So I'm starting to also understand that when he was bodyguarding that family, he knew there were butterflies and all that stuff. There must be something else he knows on the inside. Because, okay, I get it, he's judo master, but judo does give you the ability to throw people twice, 3 times your size, whatever else, because it's leverage and, using their force and gravity against them. However, he sometimes kicks people and drop kicks them and knocks them flat across the room. We have seen Mern be that. We've seen Butterfly be that kind of strong. He's really strong for a human with no powers and being that little.
And so for being this little, like when he got into the fight with Hardcore, and she even like took his head and rammed him like almost through. I think it was like the toilet.
Yeah,
just on impact of his head. We just saw what happened with Keith, Chris's older brother, when he got hit in the temple. And you mean to tell me that this guy who's this size has his head rammed? How in the hell did he survive that?
Like, what to be fair, Keith was a child and has been hit in the head way too many more times. But then again,
true. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, him and Judo Master are the same damn size. So,
I mean, that's true. How old is Judo Master? But that's not important.
We don't know.
The bigger thing is that Judo Master has been hit by a vehicle. He's been beaten by a metal blunt object. He's been shot in the stomach.
He's been electrocuted, tased.
Tased is electrocution is death. So he's been shocked all to be damned. Yeah. But he still gets up and it's like round 15, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing?
What are you?
Aren't you ready to lay down?
I'm telling you, Baby's kid, ultimate effing Baby's kid.
Yeah, but the craziest part is he broke. Motherfucker. He broke into so he kicked those two aggravating ass dudes' asses outside that grocery store. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny because the grocery owner was like the bodega guy was like, yeah, you know. So like that shit. But
excuse me for typos.
I saw. Yeah, and honestly, we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
Honestly, they may give him the key-based abilities and tell anybody. Because I mean, in reality, Key is not really seen. Well, I'm gonna get into that in a second. That's a whole other topic. But I was gonna say shit. Sorry, no. But like he kicked their asses, sat in that car seat. He moved some of the glass, some of the little breakaway glass, but some of the glass was still in the car seat. Now, I don't know if you all understand what glass is and what it does, right? Like glass is super refined sand. And when anything is super refined, when you break a super refined thing, it has edges that are very, 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 very sharp.
Yep, and then you end up with band-aids like this for breaking something on glass. So yeah.
Explain you
I'm your example.
I'm explaining how sharp. I don't know if y'all seen the show Oz before, but in Oz, at one scene, there's this one guy came in, he was an Italian mafia dude, had all his friends and stuff. I can't remember the character's name. I've only seen Oz in episode, but I know this one. We took like a can of like a soda can, like a whatever can of soda, and he was taking glass and grinding it on the table. And when it came to like a very fine powder form, he put it in their drinks to make them sick. Because those really fine glass particulates still mess up their stomach. They cut them up on the inside. That's how sharp glass is. Glass doesn't stop being sharp. It is what it is. And he sat on it and drove and had no booty cut marks, no pain, nothing.
No booty cut marks.
I don't know what Judo Master is made of. Now, if he does, they did give him the key thing. And like he's just focusing and all that stuff and harnessing his chi, his mana, his prana, whatever, then cool, I guess, beautiful. But like I don't know if they gave him the key-based abilities. I mean,
we don't know. Like all I know is when he fought those two guys to steal their car up there and make fun of him when he's outside the convenience store called Easy Mart or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He slammed one of the guys' heads right through the glass, and that guy was out cold. And then he just went in, took his Cheeto bag, brushed a few of the glass stars aside, still sat on the damn rest of the glass, and drove off. So I don't know. We don't know what the hell he's made out of.
It was what was very human to me is he kicked their ass, and then he kicked his bag of shit. Like I was like, I would do something like that. I'm like, I'm taking your car, punk.
I mean, like I said, Judo Master's another conundrum in this show. He's got a big question mark. We know he is in the comics, but this is a whole other invention.
What's funny about it is that like I knew he was gonna kick their ass eventually because they're making fun of him. But it's like you see some random guy. Okay, look, this is my thing. This is me being a human being in the real world. If I am going to a gas station, a bodega, a quick store, a quick mark, 7-day store, I don't give a damn, to get some snacks to go somewhere else, and I see some dude sitting out by the propane tanks in a full green outfit, eating junk food, eating hot chips, eating hot Cheetos. You know what I'm not about to do? Mess with him. Because he has a lot of confidence where that in public and eat snacks with a bandage around his stomach, like it is whatever. That to me is insane. That's insane as hell in my mind. Why would you think in your own stupid pea brain ass mind to go like, oh little man, what?
Who hurt you as a child that you don't have that kind of sense?
What did you expect to happen? You know what I mean? Just like that's like you see somebody like I don't know. I'm way bigger than Judo Master, but like I don't know. If you see somebody walking around at the mall with a whole martial art, like a whole like dobak or karate gi on and a black belt, just walk around looking at people like yeah, like and hanging out by the side drinking a big ass like drink from Auntie Anne's pretzels or some shit. I'm not like, oh, this motherfucker, like, why you look so weird? What's wrong with you? He's probably looking for a reason. Don't do that.
Just leave him alone.
Just
Keep
leave him
going.
be. Why
Go in the store, get your Kit Kat bar,
like,
your strawberry orange flavor, or hybrid Kool-Aid. Whatever you need to get, you're packing now later, just get in the car. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Just go home. First of all, we live in Memphis, so this is all far-fetched for us because we're not going in the middle of the night to the damn convenience store or the damn gas station to get snacks any damn way. So we know where we're not being shot at. But yeah, that whole scene was ridiculous. It was just ridiculous.
But I don't know if James Gunn's done a lot of research for these characters. If he did research Key and Chi and all that shit and is giving that to the character,
he could have.
Yeah, because Key itself is mostly the way you breathe. It's a science of breath, and I mean that can be done in so many different ways. But I mean, because even
I just think there's something else going on with this character.
Yeah, it might be. But if it's a Key and Chi thing, they're actually doing a pretty good job. I mean, they say you can only really see Key if you can harness it yourself. But I mean, like even then, like it's just it's on its basic level a measure of breathing in order to exert more effort through the way you make sure the oxygen flows from your lungs to your muscles. But on the most basic level of it all, basic level. So like, if he knew that and he did this research on it, maybe he's using Key. I don't know. I never knew that Key can help you from dying from getting shot in the stomach. But but then again, it's fantasy. So
yeah, that's what Latino just said. Real world Key is very different.
Yeah. So you get it.
I mean, let's think about this though. Let's think about if you think about martial arts fantasy. There's no way in the laws of physics and gravity that you're going to be able to leap from where you are from 14 feet in the air to land on top of a damn tree. That's not going to happen.
True story.
Not going to happen. Because I don't care how talented you are as a martial artist, gravity will always fucking win.
Yeah, gravity.
Always.
Gravity is like sleep. Eventually it's going to get you.
It's going to happen. Once it goes up, it's going to come down. And you are not going to jump that high. So not without a power pack. So Adebayo, she is in her feelings a lot in the past 2 episodes.
Yes, she is.
He said, tell that to Goku. I can't tell anything to Goku. He trains too damn much to go home and be a good father and a good husband. So Adebayo, she is in her feelings this whole, like this whole season, but definitely these past 2 episodes because she's bonding with these people. She feels like she's part of the group, but at the same time, she's working for Mama. And Mama's having her do some shady stuff and not let anyone know that Amanda Waller is her daughter. Although we did learn before Mern died that he knew. So we'll get to that in a second too. He's like, and I love that. I love how it just smoothly came out. Like, duh.
Yeah. Duh. Okay.
But
I knew everything was Mern. Mern was updated as well.
Well, I think the irony of this whole thing, if you look at it from this standpoint, Mern knew who she was, and everybody knew who he was, and she didn't. So I thought that was very interesting.
What that tells me is that these butterflies are very, 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 very smart and very clever. That's what
very, very smart. Okay, so she gets this diary that actually looks like something a girl would write in 7th grade. It was like
all the little pictures on the Wayne Tech stickers and shit. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Really? You're a Batman lover. it's like a 12-year-old had a crush on Batman. That's what that diary looks like.
Like, what the hell is up with this diary?
So they hide the diary, and basically this diary is a plant by Amanda Waller to frame a Peacemaker for basically all the shit going down, and which makes me understand that Amanda Waller knows about the butterflies, knows all the shit that's happening because, of course, it's Amanda effing Waller. And I think it's extremely funny that, Adebayo is still like, Mama, but Mama wanted me to have this job and she wanted me to do this forever. And I just wanted to run my little dog rescue. And then we lost funding and blah, blah, blah. And so I put the journal in there. And if you look at Adebayo, she does want to help. At the same time, she's conflicted because she's still, and I said this in my very first review, she is still half Amanda Waller. And you can see it.
Yes.
See it.
She really is.
So she is a girl of 2 worlds. She has the ability to be the most manipulative bitch in that whole room. But she has a conscience. And so it's like nature fighting nature. It's very interesting. And I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Because right now, I love the character. I do. I love the character. But it's so interesting to see that fine line between how easily she could turn and become more like Mama and more of that, manipulative and cold-hearted and does anything to get ahead and get the job done attitude that Amanda has. So I don't know. And I loved how Chris, because she was the one besides, because he wants to get with Hardcore. Yeah. But he bonded with Adebayo, and I think
now you don't trust her at all. He's so angry.
He's like, I don't want to talk to your stupid face. I mean, it's almost like when you're in school, you're like, what? You took my you took the last sun kiss out of my bag? Well, screw you and your dumb face. We're not friends anymore.
That's what's funny about it, because it's like he's there like, she's too fisky. You suck and hate you. Hope you crash.
But it does make sense if you look at how he was raised.
Yeah, I know.
Has that whole little boy mentality.
If y'all don't know, like, people don't know, the trauma you speak usually starts at the earliest, the very latest, or the very earliest you experience trauma. His first biggest sign of trauma is when he was like 6 or 7 years old. So he handles his trauma like a 6 or 7 year old. He doesn't know how to handle that.
He regresses to that age whenever he's in his feelings. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a true thing. Everyone does this, for real. If you ever if you ever go through a problem, think about how you're handling it and think about what age is appropriate to handle that. Like, what age group would handle it this way?
Okay, but I am an exception to this rule, guys, because you guys already have coined angry grandma. Apparently, I aged 40 years. Like, so my trauma is an old, bitter woman, which you usually see during Arrowverse reviews. So I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm
the exception.
They're not entirely wrong. Cantankerous old thing, you.
Hey. Look, you're talking about myself, and I'm trying to get my stuff done. Like me. But yeah, like I said, this whole situation, the whole relationship between Adebayo and Chris is very hard for me, because I like that these are two drastically different characters, but they still found like a way of being, cool with each other and close with each other. And I thought, I don't know.
I hope it heals by the last episode of this season. And also, wasn't it adorable when she actually saw Eagly hug him? She was like,
I know. That was gonna be one of the things we talked about, one of the standout moments. And he finally got a picture.
He finally got pictures over there.
She calls her wife, and she's like, I think I need to stay on because I just saw a bird hug a human.
Eagly,
what does this mean? It's a sign.
Okay, before we go any further, let's talk about the prayer he made to God about like ugly bitches watching his ego and he not have the good name. Like, what are you, dude? This was not. You know what though? Forget it. Everybody talks to God their own special way, and if God is completely perfection, as it were, and omnipotent, I don't think you could pray to God incorrectly, honestly. So, because if you're omnipotent, there's no such thing as praying to God wrong. Actually, there's no real point. But that's on the top altogether.
Regardless of your religion or what God you believe in, I think all of that is applicable across everything you believe in. Unless you don't believe in God and you believe in something else. Same principle.
Omnipotence plays a different role. And I don't know if for those who are watching this right now, and this is a very important thing to distinguish, omnipotence and strength are two different things altogether. And
people know that. Because you know how I know? Because they watch Dragon Ball Z. Anyway.
No, that's a good point to make. Because, like, for example, the Omni King in Dragon Ball Super right now, the little dude, blue skin, and he's the master of all universes and all that shit. Like, Goku could probably try to fight the Omni King. No, he probably can't. The Omni King is omnipotent for real. That's this whole character. He's omnipotent. Goku is just really godlike strong. Don't get me wrong. Omnipotence is a whole nother ballgame. And I'm just a small little tangent because people get these two confused all the time. Super strength, like Goku has, like he can destroy a universe with a few punches. That is powerful, don't get me wrong. Omnipotence is like saying, I will beat someone Tuesday with the power of Wednesday on Friday. And as much sense that doesn't make, that's what omnipotence means. You are power incarnate. You can do anything you fucking want to. You are strong as you want to be. You're as big as you want to be. You're small. That's omnipotence. There is
it's basically telling Goku, yes, you can destroy the galaxy, but boy, I made you.
Exactly.
Then I can unmake you. And the galaxy. Yep.
It's like when people do a thing, like when they do the whole the power scaling thing and like who's the strongest anime character right now, Omni King has to win that because he's literally God. Like there's no It's just no, because everything else is a scale. I don't think it has no scale. He's just an omnipotent creator. That's it. That's why he can be silly and childish and play around. Like, because is he physically strong? If he doesn't want to be, no. When he's with Goku, he's being friendly. He just light as a feather to Goku. But if he just does like he goes squish, that's the end of it. That's everything. He can literally right now look at Goku like this and create a brand new Goku. It's like stronger than the one he already is. Like it's like a whole nother level of power. So like,
but that's why Peacemaker was praying, because he felt that level of power was going to save Eagly, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Like his prayer was goofy, but you praying somebody omnipotent or as Latino says, omnipotence versus omniscience. Omnipotence is being able to do anything you want. Omniscience is knowing anything you want to know, and they're not the same. But
I mean, it's a very cool mutant ability. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, omniscience to me is not as great as omnipotence, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think they do well together.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We have to get through the.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pin on that.
We'll talk about this all night.
Yeah.
So Groove will have that Q&A if you really need to know the difference. He is here for you. But right now, the biggest example you will have is Goku blew up the world, but God said, and I blew you up, and I reinvented the world. So go sit down. Sit down, soldier. Get in the corner. Drink your, get your juice box. Be quiet.
I mean, shit. With Goku's power, like I destroyed the universe, and here comes Queen Serenity. Stop it. Like, oh shit, what happened?
Queen Serenity is actually the ultimate baby kid. That bitch, she just reincarnates.
Yeah, she's something else.
So now we have Eagly. Eagly was hurt, but Eagly is now up, and they had this, they had this whole moment, and Eagly was like, "Come here, bro. Come here. Here for you." But his little wings around, and here comes Peacemaker with his cell phone. Snap! Finally got his damn shot. I was so happy.
I was happy for him. I felt I was like.
I'm like, that's why we watch this show. F all the plot. It's because we needed to have him get a picture of Eagly hugging.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I was very excited about that. But so the kind of side effect to all of the shit that went down, because the Detective Song basically is now, I think the butterfly's name was Goff. They were calling it Goff. Mm-hmm. So Goff is now M Song, releasing what I'm now calling the Butterfly Zombie Squad. Is that they need, with Murn being killed, assassinated, and everybody kind of hanging out there. They don't know what the hell to do, because Murn was the one that was controlling all this, making all the moves, because he's a butterfly, so he knew what to do. They're flying by the seat of their pants, and the person they decided to be leader is who? Who's the leader now?
I mean, you know what though? For real, she earned it.
She
did. Hawthorne earned it. She earned it. She wasn't disturbed herself. She earned it.
Yeah, and I love the fact that she did such a 180 on Chris from episode 1.
Yeah, she did.
She didn't give a damn what happened to him, and now she's like,
now she cares. Now she's like,
he was your friend. How could you do this to him?
But no, that's like trans, like boot camp. That's like training in general. You may not like people you were at first. When you go through some stuff together and you damn near die, and you make it out. No, you become friends. Like no, it's us. We're a team.
No, I'll tell you what it was. It was that road trip with the music. That's how you bond.
That's really what it was. That's what it was. They definitely trauma bonded to that whole experience.
I mean, think about it. All they really needed to do is play Bohemian Rhapsody from Wayne's World with Queen. There you go. Best friends for life. But now, like, I do love the fact that now, I mean, they're actually becoming more of a team, even though they were supposed to be a team the whole damn time. Now they have a common goal. Now, Vigilante, to be clear, he's just there. Like, yes, he likes being in the group text,
but he's
just there.
He's there. He is. This is so mean. He is the Arsenio Hall of the group. He's Eddie Murphy's best friend.
Very mean.
He's Eddie Murphy's best friend. I don't know if you know, but he's Eddie Murphy's best friend, and they're the best friends in the whole wide world. No, but anyway, he's just Peacemaker's best friend, and that's the only thing they got going on, and that's just the bottom line. And you know what? I mean, shit. Hey, I mean, I ain't mad.
Well, he thinks he's Peacemaker's best friend.
He does. He really does.
He's probably runner up to best friend before Eagly and whoever else he decides is his best friend, and he's just there. He's a side friend.
Matter of fact, you don't know. Vigilante might have been the one paying his bills this whole time.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably true. Actually,
that probably is true as hell.
That's probably very true. I will say, if Vigilante is making all the money he's making, why is he a waiter? I'm like, But like I said, this goes back to my belief that the DC and Arrowverse share a bank account. Just saying. Like, who's funding this shit? I don't understand. So, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. People get a lot of shit done in DCU with very little money.
You know, his dad wasn't doing it.
So
I really think it was vigilante. About having, I don't know, because like I said earlier, he's socially inept, but he was trying to date his coworker's sister, so he does have need for companionship on some level.
But then he also says in the same breath, I basically admitted to killing my entire family. So I mean, without a conscience. So
yeah, he did say that.
So I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of conundrums, a lot of characters that have question marks. It's like, what is actually going on with this character? And which is that's kind of like why I like the way James Gunn writes. They're not just one-dimensional characters. They're very complex characters that have angles that are completely on crack, and I love it. Yeah, pretty cool. So at the end of the day, we got Harcourt. She is now leading the charge. They're going to try and stop them from moving the cow from the barn or underneath the barn, because if they get that cow to one of their other locations, they will never find it again, and they have no chance of stopping the butterflies. And so they're all on their road trip to doom. And of course, Chris is in his feelings because his girl, our resident queer character, she put a journal in there, traded on him, and now she wants to be on a team player, and he's like, hate your stupid face. So
I think you'll get over. I hope you get over it, man.
Of course not. Well, I think one of a million things is going to happen in the next episode. Either she's going to have to do something that's going to be a grand gesture to prove that she is not her mom, because they all know she's the mama now, and the way they know that she's her mom is fucking hilarious. Because she's talking, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. I'm not cut up for this shit. And she's like, oh my God, you're Amanda Waller's daughter. And then Mern's like, comes in and she's like, did you know she was Waller's daughter? He's like, yeah, you don't think I've been a background check on everybody that came to work for me? Duh. I've known from day one. What the hell you been? And I'm like,
y'all think y'all clever. I'm more clever than you.
I mean, dude. I know your bra size. I don't want to hear that.
It makes perfect sense, because Mern knew as soon as Adebayo looked at him with the goggles, the visors, he's like, oh, no, you don't. So he's really clever. He is clearly a warrior. Actually, I will say this. Wasn't it weird when you saw the cows? It was like a oversized tardigrade. That is. Yeah.
To be honest, I've seen the alien that looks like this in so many different streams and anime and hell. I've seen it in the show Torchwood. There's always the cow. There's always that character. So this was no real shock to me.
It looks like a tardigrade, those water bears, like they live out in space, crossed with the Slurm Queen thing from Futurama. That's what it looked like to me. I was like, this is a really big, ugly ass grub that is milking.
Yeah. I think James Gunn really likes big, weird looking aliens, because again, spoiler, Suicide Squad. When you see the Suicide Squad, they had everything.
That and McDonald's references.
Yeah, he just wanted a hamburger.
Because then again, he made what was it? Oh shit, I was thinking about it earlier today, because I thought about it. I was watching episode, I thought it was funny. He made Star-Lord call Thanos Grimace. So he just likes McDonald's references. I guess maybe it's just part of a shout. I don't know. He keeps using McDonald's references of McDonald's characters.
Well, what I love about this show is how many 80s and 90s references they can also drop.
Swear to God,
it's hilarious.
Red hair with a red tie, stripes.
I was in high school in the 90s, so all that shit resonates with me. So I think it's cool. All right, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Amanda created that fake diary to pin it all on Peacemaker and ended up going back to prison with her. Yeah, I feel like, not with her. Amanda's not going to jail, but yeah, I think, which is to me is stupid. If I'm gonna have one suspension of disbelief thing, Peacemaker has a whole ass bomb still in his head. I don't think they ever revealed that they took that bomb out.
They didn't.
So she didn't need to frame him. She just needed to push a switch and blow him up.
Well, evidently, either the bombs moved or deactivated. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, as much head trauma as Chris has faced, though, I'm surprised he didn't just go off on his own.
Know what, though? Honestly, it's weird because, if the bomb is still back there, she can always threaten to come back and do this stuff or else. But then again, she can't just blow him up in public, because and I wouldn't leave. I'm making my assumptions because there's no way that any police department in any city will figure out what the hell happened, what the hell did it, where the technology. Like cops don't solve a lot of crimes that happen. So like, especially on that level, that is completely military grade and up. So I mean, you know,
yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I agree with that.
Either bomb doesn't work anymore, or you know, like.
I mean, I just really believe that something that explosive though, that has the ability to explode and to that level of degree where it blows up your entire head like scanners.
Yeah.
As much head trauma.
That is a reference for your ass.
I know, right? But like as much trauma as Chris's head has endured, it should have gone off. That's what I believe. So I don't know. That's just me. I'm just throwing shit out here. You know,
I'm still trying to Google it to see if like they explain that in the movie. But like I'm not. Hold on, let me see. Peacemaker.
Yeah, well, let me know if you see that. Hello, Maria and Jack. Glad to see you again in assumable warmth. Yeah, we are warm now. We have electricity.
I know, right?
Let me knock on some shit because you know I keep getting hit. So I live in this place called Midtown in Memphis, and I'm getting hit big time. Like this morning, I did not expect the power to go out again. So hopefully, I will not have that again tomorrow because I plan on having a Yashahime and Arrowverse tomorrow. This is later. I got off work late, guys. That's why the stream is later. But yeah, I'm hoping everything goes right. Everything's copacetic, and I can do my streams tomorrow, and I don't have blackout when I wake up in the morning. I will be mad because this is not the weather for that. So, I will be in my feelings. If you guys knew how many weighted blankets we had to have on us to stay warm, and it got to 16 degrees some nights with no power and no heat, that I don't recommend that to anybody. And if you went through that, my heart is with you. It effing sucked. And the first day, I think my data went out. I think Groove, your data went out too, didn't you? Did you have data issues? Yeah, my data, we couldn't stream
real bad. Like it was terrible.
It was horrible. Like you tried to stream a show or whatever using data, and it would like it was almost like you were in a flip book. And I was like, this is live animation, flipping some pages. It was horrible, and the buffering was no joke. It's like I had a 14.4 modem on my phone. I was so in my feelings. Bless you. And I literally, it was messed up. So the first day sucked. The second day, it was still sucked, but at least I could watch stuff. So it was horrible. Such a trooper. Thank you, Kevin. Hello, Latino. I think we've been talking to you. So at this point, we know you're here. But thanks for joining. Okay, we already did this one. How much you want to bet that? I still love that though. The Ride Dragon.
No, because it's true. It's true as hell. No one can explain so far as I'm finding that. Hold on, wait a minute.
There's no explanation for that.
I'm trying because people. I'm looking at people trying to tell me how it ended. Maybe it's because you know what though? He did get shot in the neck, and maybe it destroyed the bomb.
But wouldn't it have triggered it? You would think something that high tech, a biological, weapon, because that's what I'm calling it. It's in your body. It's biological.
We're playing with.
Wouldn't that have triggered the bomb to blow up? Isn't there like a fail safe? Isn't it like some kind of material that's not, I don't know, like high impact? I don't know.
Like I said, we're talking about. Well, hold on, not necessarily, because it could be activated by let me stop. Like I know what I'm talking about. But we're playing fantasy. Like I don't know how to build a bomb. So especially on that level. It could be something that's only triggered by a specific response to like a trigger response. And if that's the case and it's that specific, so it won't go off on just any impact at all, which makes sense. Because I'm thinking, think about it. If you put a bomb on somebody's neck that you want to be able to detonate from the push button, basically it puts on a signal response to go off. That's dangerous if it goes off on any kind of impact because they get hit in the back of the head or the neck or they fall. It's both fuck up and it's a waste of time. So it will make sense that it only goes off on a certain signal and not on just something hitting it. So the upside is that you have total control of the bomb and its activities. It blows up when you say so. The downside is any impact great enough can destroy it. So I mean, that could be a thing.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, honestly, I can see that. I don't know. We're gonna be like, wow, because I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the material is in this issue. I know what they I know in other DC properties where they talk about the bombs in Suicide Squad, we know what that is, but I don't know what they're doing in DCU. So it's interesting. This episode is about Peacemaker going from a shitty person to a slightly less shitty person.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on subjectivity. I mean, I didn't feel like he was an all-around shitty person to begin with. I think that what he did in the Suicide Squad movie was shitty. But yeah, when you start seeing where he came from, it starts putting things in perspective. And actually, when you see what he did not become way before he started having his little finding myself moment in the season, I actually can say now I'm actually a fan of Peacemaker because he could have literally been Daddy Jr. and he actively chose, even with what I call the non-realism gene in his brain, because everything he Googles he thinks is real life. So there's no realism in his mind. Like everything is like, I saw on Google that people play with their poo. Ha! It's on Google, so it must be real. I mean, that's literally how he thinks.
He really does. He just gets all his fucking facts from like really bad Google sources. And it's ridiculous.
So somebody that has that mindset, I mean, and still manages to understand that his dad was a POS, that's, I mean, I don't know. I guess to each their own, I guess. If they're trying to make the world a better world better, it's in very condescending colonizer way, where they think they're civilizing a primitive people. I don't know where else we've seen that happen.
I mean, seriously, this whole show was really playing. This show is doing the woke thing, as woke, whatever. They're doing it way better than any other series is doing it. Honestly, and I mean this in all sincereness. Like in this. Not to poke fun of nothing or being like condescending or whatever the fuck, who cares? Between the right and left, the woke and non-woke, whatever, this show is actually pointing out everything we're talking about on the internet, every bit of finding self-help, every bit of being healthy for yourself, every bit of self-love, every bit of self-acceptance, every bit of self-love, all that good shit.
Anti-racism, anti-homophobia,
all that shit is being done so well in this series in a way where they still have their traumas with each other and it's still fucking funny. And I'm looking at you, Doctor Who, but
you think Doctor Who, you need to be looking at Arrowverse. You be calling Arrowverse now.
You know why I'm not watching Arrowverse anymore?
I know.
I don't know. I just didn't they kill? I haven't watched Legend of Tomorrow past season 1. So I don't know. Didn't they kill Rip Hunter off? I heard about that. I read it somewhere.
So it depends on your perspective of time travel. Rip Hunter can never really die if he's a time.
Of course.
He's
Fuck what I'm talking. Fuck what I'm talking.
But I mean, in a way, yeah, I guess you could say prospectively. I mean, he did promote Sarah to captain. So it depends.
Wait, did he?
And there are timelines where Rip is obviously alive.
No, wait, why? Didn't the Lazarus Pit they make her crazy as shit? Why the hell are they making her
you are so behind. I'm like, you're behind. You would actually enjoy.
Y'all see how much
it's goofy as hell. I love it.
You see how much Legend Mars I watch? Can y'all tell how
man, you're a man.
I'm a mess.
Shit. A mess. So confused, a mess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have an intervention with you in Legend tomorrow. Okay, we already talked about that, about the king. It would be a funny Andy Kaufman-esque if at the end of the season Judo Master reveals his true form, Dr. Manhattan. I peed myself. I would pee myself. Oh, that would be effing amazing.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I want that to happen now.
I would embrace that. I would embrace that with open arms. That's what I want.
That to happen. I need that to happen.
Oh my God, that'd be damn near orgasmic. I'm like, oh wait, what? what is this? What Earth are we in? Oh my God, this is Earth 1. This Earth 342. What is this?
I love this. It was very nice of Eagly to let John Cena have a chance to shine on his show. You're not wrong. No, you are not wrong
at all. Actually,
yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. Gotta love how people have infinite money in these shows. I'm telling you, I do not understand. I want to know where their bank is and how I apply for a loan, because obviously you don't have to pay it back. You don't have to do shit. because the characters in Arrowverse are an absolute direct representation on how not to live your life. It's like, we don't need cash. Somehow we will survive. Like I always talk about like Superman and Lois, the fact that they have a whole ass farm and nobody works it. And nobody's doing shit to this farm. We're gonna fix this tractor. What for? Like, what are you gonna use it for? Nothing, because there's nothing to do. I just find it hilarious that people, they'll have an episode where they talk about how are we going to pay for this, blah, blah, blah. And then it just goes away. And the things are just like settled. And we don't know how, because they don't have a job. They don't have, I don't know how they're doing any of this shit. So yeah, I don't understand. And the fact that this is kind of, for me, it's kind of transferred into the DCEU. It is very interesting. I mean, we did see it in, spoiler alert, if you look at the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, when Lois Lane decided to take off from work, she's like, I just can't go back to work. I can't make my paycheck. How the fuck was she paying for shit? And she was buying coffee for herself and that damn guard every day. I'm like, I understand you can have savings, but you live in Metropolis, which is basically New York City. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You don't have that kind of clout. Not on your salary.
What would Gotham really be? Is that like Detroit? Like, I'm serious.
Probably. Probably.
Chicago?
Look, at one point, I thought it was all New York, and now I'm just confused. So when Smallville let me know that it was like in Kansas, but you could drive to Metropolis, I was like, all right. I don't know anymore. I don't know where anything is anymore. I thought I knew, but originally I thought all of them were like different versions of New York City. I mean, especially when you see the Statue of Liberty.
It does not feel that way. Because the Gotham and Metropolis are both just another name for a large-sized city. So I think.
Yeah, I looked at it like, you know, how you look at Daredevil and Marvel. There's Hell's Kitchen, and there's like Manhattan. I don't know. I guess we're not meant to know. Okay, so Wilbert Robinson said, I think her wife's, Abidea's wife, is going to become a butterfly.
I hope not. That's a terrible way to tell the story. Don't do that.
Well, actually, though, it would make sense if they're trying to keep her with the team. Because if her wife does not become a butterfly, she has no reason to stay with them.
Well, hold on. If they made it where her wife was always a butterfly, that makes more sense. It's a weird twist, but whatever. But make her a butterfly at the end just to force her to be with the team?
Well, more like, actually think about it on this level of making her becoming a butterfly and then her either becoming part of the team because she's, you know, grief-stricken, or becoming more like her mama because she's pissed.
Well, this is my thing, because to me that's character assassination. So, like, what you don't do with a character when you write them out is you can't make the character, you don't abandon the characters so the audience doesn't believe them. It's same like I think a movie where they did that shit that's really terrible. Like I use Doctor Who because Doctor Who's a big example, but I don't use it, I overuse it. But like Walking Dead's a good example. I like that one. Walking Dead. When they put I forgot his fucking name. John, I think it's John. Yeah, whatever. They keep putting together so many fucking hardships. When you put a character through certain hardships, they have to have time to heal and then get better and solve the problem. When you overburden the character with shit and we know the character is part of the plot, but the plot can't drive the character. The characters drive the plot. To make her girlfriend a butterfly, like out of nowhere, and then force her to keep going because of that shit, is forcing her to adhere to the plot, and it will piss off audiences. Like some people be like, "Oh, damn, this is kind of funny," because the show is making it kind of entertaining. But to me, that's character assassination on Adebayo's part, because she just wants to have her own mind and wants to do what the fuck she wants to do. And that's part of her personality. To at the end of the series, or end of this season, I'm probably have second season, I'm pretty sure, to say like, no, she has no autonomy. She's a simp. She doesn't fuck we tell her to do. Puts her right back into the role of, I'm just my mom's pawn. I do what the fuck my mom tells me to do. Even the autonomy, she may feel like, no, I chose this. No, you didn't. Your mom chose this. You didn't choose a goddamn thing. It's your mom.
And that's what I was going to say, because I don't actually agree with you on terms of she wants to do her own stuff. I look at her as a character who doesn't know what the hell she wants.
Exactly. Right.
She's taking this time to try and figure it out. So on the one hand, I do agree about character assassination. For me, it would be bad because it's a kill your gay trope. You're killing off another queer character, and that doesn't always play out very well. But at the same time, if you're going for even representation, they would do the same thing with a heterosexual couple. They take the partner of the heterosexual person. So in a way, it's actually making the playing field even. And for me, I think that's awesome because when you don't, being a queer person, I don't feel like it has to be in the spotlight. I feel like it should just be something that's common enough that nobody blinks an eye and there aren't like Twitter posts and rage and all this other shit and YouTube videos about why is everything gay and blah, blah, blah. I want it to get to a point where, hey, there's no difference between a heterosexual couple and, a queer couple.
So, first, you get to root the thing. You got to get to the root of what coupleship is, and
I know. Well, that's like I said, we're still in that struggle, and we live in the South, so I already know. But so separating sexual, preference, identity, whatever, all of these things, LGBTQ, all of it, gender identity, all of these things that we talk about all the time. On a character basis, one of the things we have seen happen throughout comic book history is everybody has been motivated by the death of somebody close. Batman's parents was a huge motivator for him dressing like a damn bat and losing his damn mind. Peter Parker and Uncle Ben, huge motivator for him to basically shut off every aspect of his life and turn, in favor of being responsible and being Spider-Man. Spider-Man is always Peter Parker's priority. Yes, he loves Mary Jane or whoever the hell he's with at the time, but it's always going to come to Spider-Man because he can't give it up because of the words it informed him. It traumatized him. None of these people went to effing therapy. That is the key here. None of them work this shit out in therapy. They work it out in costumes. That is literally what happens. So if they did choose to make the wife a butterfly, meaning this is her, Ebadiah's big moment of this is what's going to inform what the hell I am and what the hell I'm doing in this world. Be it guilt because she kept leaving her wife, because she left her wife. There are times in this season, her wife would text her. She wouldn't even text her back. She wouldn't answer the phone. So imagine what that would do to her character if she became a butterfly. This in a way actually could be a bad thing and a good thing, depending on which direction they wanted her to go. That's why I throw out there, if you're going to make another Amanda Waller, you got to do something big and you got to do something traumatizing. And there's nothing bigger and traumatizing for this girl right now than them killing off her wife. So I mean, it's just how you look at it.
Killing off her wife is one thing. Making her a butterfly is a whole other ballgame.
But I mean, technically speaking, once the butterfly takes you, you're dead.
Yeah, it's true.
They killed her wife, so her wife's walking around in a pod, basically.
There's a difference between dying and being a zombie. There's two different things. So
I just feel like because with a zombie, they, depending on which property you watch, Warm Zombies is a whole other thing. But and Twilight. That shit, they zombies, they're not damn vampires. Outside of that shit, I feel like I could see both sides. So if James Gunn decided to do this in a way that it was like, this is Adebayo's time to figure out what she's going to be, and it's formed by this trauma, then I'm not opposed to it 100%. But I do see why you would think that would be character assassination too. So you can see it both ways. You really can see it both ways. So
to me, like if you just threw it in like, and then just because we need a reason for her to stay in the show to be this, that's character.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I don't think James Gunn would do that just to keep her in the show because, quite frankly, I feel like she has main character insurance. She's Amanda Waller's daughter, and unless she was always the expendable character, which I don't think they're brave enough to do because let's face it. She's the only black face in this right now.
Yep.
So they're not gonna get rid of her. So I mean, Vigilante is gonna go before she going. Let's put it that way. So I don't think
was shot up, and then the blood came out. She was like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. It'll go down, but I do think that this is a good opportunity for an origin story because it follows the tropes. It just does. It follows all the tropes. Mr. Freeze's wife. I mean, if you go down the line for villains, one of the main factors about a lot of villains is they were traumatized either by a parent or they lost a loved one. It's always that way across the board. So this could just be this could be either her, I need to commit myself to getting rid of these fucking butterflies, or I'm going to be like my mom. My mom was right. When you show emotion, you have emotion, you get hurt. Either way, she can walk that line. And if they were trying to push her one way or the other, that is a good way of doing it.
It's not trying to push her towards being Peacemaker's friend. If they're going to do that, they're not going to compromise.
No. This isn't even about Peacemaker's friends. I mean, actually committing. And like I said, I like Ebadiah's character, but the one thing I will say, she is so indecisive throughout most of this season. and they need something to make her on board. So her seeing Eagly saying, "I saw a bird hug a man. This is a sign that I should be going with them." That is so superficial if you really think about it. No, she's a deeper person, so they need to have something deeper. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, she has an LT grade complex, but all the same is like, I mean, she does shit, but like all the same, like, I don't know.
Like, I just think you're just gonna come out and say it like that.
No shit. What's she gonna have? She's gonna be like what? Like White Pantera or Puma Loco? We don't know, but like it's. I don't know if they reveal that her wife has always been a butterfly. That's one thing altogether. But say she got turned into one during the process. It's cheap storytelling to me. Like,
don't be like I said, I trust James Gunn, and it really depends on how they do it.
Yeah,
let's put it that way. Because I mean, I am not opposed to her being turned into one if it's something story forward. If it's something that is a plot device that is believable. Let's put it that way. So I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. All right. So I'm trying, guys. My freaking screen keeps going up, and I don't know why. Because StreamYard hates me. I pay for you. You should work for me, but you don't. All right. Let's see. Okay. Peacemaker is the fall guy. I agree with that. Would you and Jet be interested in doing one of your versus videos for Harry Potter versus Timothy Hunter's Books of Magic?
Timothy Hunter would kick Harry Potter's ass. I don't even want to, what kind of question is that?
That's not even a versus, it's just fact.
He's meant to be the greatest sorcerer ever. What? Hold on, wait, no, stop, wait. He's supposed to be like the Merlin. Are you kidding me? No, you're not about to beat Timothy Hunter with Harry Potter. Like, no, the hell, no. You know what? We could do that as a complete joke. We'll give Harry Potter way more abilities just to see how much more poorly he will lose. No, as a matter of fact, we'll let Harry Potter team up with Malfoy and his compadres, Hermione and I forgot his name. Damn. Still, I like Rupert Grint. What was Rupert Grint's character's name? I can't remember now.
I love how you spend a lot of time trying to remember a character's name.
I just can't. If Jam was here,
it's a sign that you're old, Groove. I'm just saying.
It is. Jam, man, like his name is. Oh, damn, I can't remember. You know what's funny? Doesn't even matter. Timothy Hunter is not losing Harry Potter on any level at all. Timothy Hunter is powerful as hell. Don't get me wrong. There are times he's not as powerful as he should be because he gets in his own head or something. But that dude is overpowerful. Like, he's not omnisciently powerful when it comes to magic. But I forgot to. Yeah, omniscient like omnipotence. Let me say it real fast before I forget. So I'm just forgot that entirely. Omnipotence, like I said before, you get the power of Wednesday, be smarty on Tuesday, on Friday, whatever. Omniscience is when you know everything. Omniscience is when you know not just everything's going on now, what would be, what will be, what could be, what would have been, what should have been, what couldn't have been. So if you're omniscient could make like a potato. What would you really do? Because literally, it's kind of like.
I'm gonna tell you guys, Groove is gonna make you understand the difference between these words. I don't know what it is.
I really will.
Tonight, guys. You are gonna know.
I'm big on that because, like, for example, with Loki's like show, the way Kang was, and before he didn't know because the time thing stopped, Kang was omniscient because he literally knew everything.
Why are you using Kang? Just use Star Trek, the Q. There you go. Yeah, just solve the
omniscience. Like omniscience is when you. Omniscience is like.
Q's like, not only do I know things, I'm going to use it to fuck with you. I'm like, I know everything, and I know the end of the story.
If someone is truly omniscient and they're using strategy to beat you, you're not going to win. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unless you have.
Unless you are an angry grandma, then it doesn't matter what you know. She's going to smack your ass.
Like I said, if you're omnipotent, you could break the mold and destroy everything. Like, well, fuck your omniscience. But at the same time,
I like what I just said, Groove. My analogy was better than yours. Angry grandma, smack your ass, and then you should have seen it coming. Just saying. Latina said, "I'm glad you two are right despite the weather and power issues." And then Wilbert said, "Thank you about that. Thank you, Latina. We're glad we're alive too. We think everything every day that we're still breathing." Way back before the internet became what it is. I thought you were gonna say before the internet. I'm like, damn, my family got frozen in our home because of an ice storm with no lights, candles, and whiskey became our best friend. See, I can't drink alcohol, so I was already screwed. Can't even drink alcohol.
No, I can.
I know you. Yeah, I know you are. See, I feel like the person that could drink the alcohol to stay warm should have had the longer, stint. Although I didn't want you guys to be suffering. I'm like, why is it? How come me, who can't have caffeine, who can't have alcohol, had to be in the freezing cold for like?
That's kind of terrible, huh?
Days.
That's kind of
messed up.
It was kind of bad.
It was bad. It was bad. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I like Peacemaker as a character, but not as a person. He's still a colonizer. I mean, to be fair, everybody lives here, I guess, technically. My native side was here first.
Like I said, but yeah, no, he's definitely white dude. So I mean, yeah, I mean, and then his dad is so racist. Yeah. I mean,
a show that does woke well, finally.
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
Unlike other shows, Arrowverse style. That's never mind. Yes, they killed him or unmade him. Yep. And Kevin said, "Laugh out loud, Jet. You miss a lot," referring to your lack of knowledge in Legends of Tomorrow. Legend of Tomorrow is goofy as hell. I think you would love it.
Who the hell is Ava Groove?
Okay.
Oh,
so Ava is the love interest for Sarah. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, Ava's a very cool character.
You can spoil for me. I'm not gonna watch this shit.
You are.
Soap. No, I'm not watching.
Staywoke has roots that can be traced back to Civil War. You said the same thing about Supernatural. You know, watch all the damn. Just be quiet.
Supernatural was good. That was a good show.
I'm telling you, Legends of Tomorrow has gotten to a point where you would absolutely enjoy it. It is,
except season 6, 7, 8 of Supernatural, part of a Supernatural. But yeah, whatever. But no, Legends of Tomorrow.
Grow. Read the damn comment. Stay woke has roots that can be traced back to civil rights circles in the 1930s. We have really taken a moment and asked why certain interests decided they're offended by wokeness. Well, like I said, woke is not being woke is not the problem. It's not. I mean, I kind of feel like, and I've always said this. I've said this in other videos. Some of the people that do whine about wokeness, they're doing it for reasons that are a little different. I think Groove doesn't like wokeness because he doesn't like being told something that people should already fucking know.
This is my big thing. America is a corporation. This country itself is like a business. It really is. And when you put out terms like woke and everything else, a lot of times what happens is people attach to it like it's some trendy thing that has a 5 minutes of fame shit. And they put everything that is not on the norm with it. And it's like, that is not what that means. So you destroyed the term. It doesn't mean what it meant in the first place. Now it's a damn near pejorative. And I don't like that kind of shit. So like, when people say wokeness, I'm like, oh, you're talking about everybody can claim everything on every level. And not everything is a woke issue. It just isn't. So like, that is my big problem, my big takeaway of all that stuff.
There you go.
I messed up my nail coming in here.
Hi, Bernadette.
Screen. I heard you say about Timothy being Harry.
Wait, what?
Harry Potter.
Timothy Hunter would kick Harry Potter's ass.
Hey, not no.
So
you chill.
See, my wife is a big Harry Potter fan. Look him up.
Quarter Life J.
I don't have
another
to.
18
I know he weak sauce.
Is going to do that video with Bruce.
No, come in. Put your bonnet on.
That'll be the ATM video that you guys want. That'll be versus Whitey in that fight.
Let me adjust.
Talking about that shit.
So hi.
Weak sauce. Hey Maria, how you doing? I just want you to know that I don't know who Timothy Hunter is or what he got going on in his life, but Harry will whoop his ass.
You better hop on that broom and fly away. I'm gonna inform me after this show.
You better.
Okay, we see now the video that must be made with YouTube.
What she said?
I see that video must be made with YouTube. It doesn't matter because you'll lose this argument. Timothy Hunter is Constantine is. Tim's supposed to be stronger than him. I'll tell you right now. I'm trying to let you know. I'm trying to learn.
But is he Constantine though?
He's a child. He's young.
Exactly. He a child. He a baby. Harry's a grown ass man right now.
Hey guys, this is why you tune into our Friday night streams. For
Keep
this
Harry's
right
name
here.
out your mouth.
Watch something else. Don't watch our show.
Keep Harry's name out your mouth. Out your mouth. Out of it. You better not sneeze his damn name. Anyway.
Christ. Like whatever, man.
Hey, Wilbur just figured out the money problem. I figured it out. There's so much crime in these cities. We don't know about you. Bank account to go from 0 to 1 million with a random bank robbery. And they deposit it in the good guys' accounts. That's what's like. Clark woke up and he's like, there was a crime in Metropolis, but we got $1 million. Like, oh Lord. And guys, I don't even drink. That's so sad. Mistakes were made. In Batman's defense, seeing your parents gunned down in front of you and threatened yourself might loosen a couple across a couple of wires. I agree. Yeah. Nobody is saying he doesn't have a right to be cray-cray.
That's true too.
My thing is that he should. This man is a whole ass billionaire. Invest in therapy. Alfred can't help you. That man is old. Leave him alone. Like to be fair, though, Alfred is pretty damn cool, but he's not paid to be your therapist.
You know how cool Alfred is? Y'all may not remember I can't remember which issue it is. Man, I'm getting too old. But there's an issue where Alfred was dying and Batman found a way to keep Alfred alive a whole lot longer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That was a real thing.
Now I'm gonna tell you. Now you need to read Deceased. I know you don't like zombie content, but see Alfred in Deceased when everybody in the Batman are turned into zombies. See what Alfred did.
I just remember Alfred was dying and Robin was like crying and shit, and Batman had to slap him or something. That was a weird issue for real, just to save Alfred's life. And it's like, dude, Alfred fought in Vietnam, dude. Let that man go. Come on.
That man, well, depends on which era. Because Golden Era, it was definitely way before Vietnam. Hey, I just wanted to put Timothy Hunter's name out there because people are sleeping on books of magic. No, I mean, that's fair.
That makes sense.
And I'm glad that you could cause this discourse in Groove's marriage. I mean, I appreciate that, Latino. You do it.
Right, no, don't worry about Latino. You know what? I'm going to explain to her who Timothy Hunter is. She knows.
And she's going to explain to you why you're wrong because it's fine.
She's wrong as hell. No, I don't care.
Oh, I feel like the word book is vastly overused. I believe it. And then you said, "Hey, Jam." Okay, I think we got through everybody's stuff. What do you think? We are 4 minutes to 2 hours, so we're doing great.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
I'm tired as hell because like when I set up the stream, I literally had 40 minutes. I got off work and I had 40 minutes to set up the stream, so I'm tired. I am tired. And I think we have to talk about our last theories really quickly and what we think is going to happen in episode 8 because
I don't know, because this is for real. Out of shows, usually I can have a good prediction. This is real. I think what I want to think is that they'll probably destroy the weird cow, the tardigrade cow. They'll probably kill it, which is kind of cruel because the cow didn't ask to be there. But they'll probably kill it and whatever, and then they'll kill the butterfly. I feel like they'll blow it all up because that's just kind of how James.
Everyone's just gonna die.
James Gunn is a really big way of
James Gunn will say everyone explodes, and at the end the tagline will say, "And now watch Guardians." I'm back at Marvel.
By the way, Latino, I see your comment. I'm gonna say that to her. It might piss her off, but she might know different. I don't know. She's a big Harry Potter fan, but we'll see. I'm gonna use that. Yes, I'll tell her. I was like, yeah, no, Rolling ripped it up. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean it's probably true, but she's going. It's okay. I don't live in your house. I don't gotta hear it.
Nope. I'm gonna get choked. I'm gonna get choked, but it's fine because I win. If I win in logic, it doesn't matter. But what was I saying? Sorry, but no, I feel like either they're gonna blow up the cow or the butterflies, which just be like insane, and it'll probably piss off butterflies across the globe and have another big issue. Or they'll see what the butterflies are trying to do, and maybe. Usually, I wouldn't say this, but this show is all over the place. They may reason out. I don't know, like this show
I can see that.
The show was
but I don't know. I don't know though. I kind of feel like they aren't going to stick to that route. I don't know why. I feel like that's not going to be what happens. We have to have, because if we learn anything about James Gunn, his stuff normally hits it with a bang. So something big should happen, but it could be that if there's going to be a season 2, it may end up on a cliffhanger. But I just don't want them to be establishing the next Amanda Waller, which is what I worry they are doing.
That's what I don't want. That's the least wanted thing.
Yeah, I am worried that is something that
Viola Davis don't want to do this no more. We gotta get somebody else. Then just fucking recast her. You don't have to. Look, and this is DC should be no shot of this. They've been recasting heroes all the damn time. Like, guys, I know Viola Davis does Waller pretty well. I get that. Don't just recast, dude. Seriously, like, but how many movies have we? How many James Bonds have we seen? Like, just recast.
How many James Bonds have we seen? How many James
Bonds dude, I get it. We do get attached to characters because the internet makes a lot of parasocial relationships, and it's kind of sad. But we get over shit because we live on 5 minutes of fame. So I mean, like, just
think about this. What Luciano's saying makes a lot of sense. There's so much more they could be doing with Amanda Waller, and I do agree with that because she is a very interesting character.
Very.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could just be establishing a new, because if you're looking at the Batman, which is not in the same universe and he's younger, we don't know if this universe shares the universe with that Batman. If it shares with the Ben Affleck Batman, we don't even know what Batman it is. I mean, it could be Christian Bale for all we know. We have no idea what Batman was established in this universe. And this, I guess for me, if we're going to talk about what bothers me the most about DCEU, is not just that they have a connectivity problem. It's just that it seems to be a side effect as well as from the Arrowverse, because they have a connectivity problem. It feels like DC has so many interesting effing characters. You just have to watch shows like Injustice and Doom Patrol and all of these other shows to see that these characters have potential to be very fucking cool. And then they get on these live action shows and these live action movies, and it's like they drop the damn ball. And I don't understand. I mean, if you can do a very good animated movie, which a few have been recently, Ashley, like I watched a little of Injustice. We ain't gonna talk about that right now, but a few of them can be a little hit or miss. But if you think about the ones that have been very successful, you already have like a roadmap. You have play-by-play on how to do it live action. Hell, if you have to make a live action shot by shot of the animated movie, then effing do it. Like, I don't understand the disconnect. So yeah. Them not doing a lot with Amanda Waller is just one other side effect of a bigger problem. So, just what it is.
And what Wilbur said, no, Batman did not have an Aunt May deal to save Alfred. No, he used science. He didn't make. He did not have.
Wilbur, why you throwing one more day in here again? Why are you doing this to me?
Like I said, he didn't have a one more day issue at all. That's not what happened. DC writers are a little bit smarter than that, than to throw in Mephisto or a demon or the devil at all to make that make sense. Thank God. But
seriously, Kevin, that's a good question. What you just asked, by the way. Off topic of the 2 Batman movies coming out, taking place in the same universe. No. I don't even know if Batgirl is going to be in the same universe.
I don't think so.
It's really a missed opportunity, though. If Batwoman, if they're doing the Lantern series, if all that's not in the same universe, it's a missed opportunity.
Well, they already said the Robert Pattinson Batman is not in the same universe. However, they're probably always saying that right now because of how recent and new the show is. So what's probably going down is if the movies do well, they probably will.
Well, my theory is a little different. My theory is because we know they're doing Flashpoint.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's true.
They can't establish anything until they F everything up. And of course, the only problem that I have with Flashpoint is we never got an origin story outside the little creepy shit we saw of Barry Allen's story. Yes, we know it. It's the same story that's done over and over again, but come on. At this point, you could have had a little bit more. But, I digress. But because we know that he's about to undo the universe we are not familiar with, what that affects, what universes and what Earths get affected by this, we have no clue. We have no way of knowing this. We have no way of knowing this. It could be good or it could end up being horrible, like Crisis on Infinite Poop of the Arrowverse. So my theory is until we have Flashpoint, nothing is set in stone.
Maria, it's not poop. It's Constantine. That was the only part for that entire thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. No, that and the fact they went to Smallville. That was funny. I like the funny cameo. That's it. The whole thing was garbage. I couldn't even finish it. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't finish it. I didn't finish it. I could not do it.
There's nothing to finish, so it's fine. I mean, the Infinite Threat. I think Bebo was a bigger threat than Anti-Monitor, but that's fine. Teddy Ruxpin would have gave us a worse time. Fucking Rainbow Bright.
I hit my head on that one. That's so funny.
I mean, like, infinite threat to all of the universes. Rainbow like, Bright.
Like, Flash is just like, what should we do next? And his mind's like, hold on.
Well, Barry, what we really should happen is you should just keep your ass at home, and then none of the shit would be happening to begin with.
Oh, here it goes. Someone's like, what? He's like, what should we do next? Someone's like, oh, hold on. Hi. Sometimes we have to find our own ways through all kind of things. Like, whoa, is Anti-Monitor really a Teddy Ruxpin doll? If y'all are too young to know what Teddy Ruxpin is, just Google it. Just Google it. It was an interesting toy at the time. It had its own cartoon series with a very enchanting and soft little intro theme. Come dream with me tonight. Anyway, regardless.
He's having a flashback.
I am. But Teddy Ruxpin, it's just.
Well, to be fair, I'm 10 years older than you, and my mother was British, so my bear was Paddington Bear.
Bear? You didn't, wait a minute, you didn't watch like Super Ted? Wasn't that a British cartoon, I thought?
No. Besides, where I was born in Germany, we had German cartoons.
Actually, Super Ted might have been Canadian.
Yeah, maybe. It definitely wasn't in Germany where we were living on base. So that's the whole other thing.
Did you see Banana Man as a kid?
No, but my daughter loved Bananas in Pajamas. That traumatized the hell out of me.
That show sucks. What about hold on, beyond Banana Man? Did you all watch oh my god, I just forgot it. Jesus Christ. You know one of those cartoons back in the day. I can't remember. Let's go for if I remember.
I was into cool stuff like Saber Rider and Star Sheriffs. And
okay. First and foremost, there were cool things. There were cool things back then that just how dare. You know what? It's all right.
By the time you get that statement out, I've already dared. What the hell is wrong with you? and yes, of course I watched Thundercats. Although I always wondered as a child when I was a youngster, not a child, because I think I was a preteen when that came out. I always wondered why Chitara was the hoe. Because when he would say Thunder, Thundercats hoe, and bitch was the first one there. I'm like, why is she the hoe? I mean, because that's who he's really calling.
Because she's a cheetah. It is Chitara. It's Chitara.
I said Chitara. You ain't listening.
She's the cheetah. She's the fastest. That's why.
No, that's not why. That's who he was calling. Like, the other ones just showed up. Wildcat, all of them just showed up. It wasn't about that. I don't want to hear that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Just saying.
We need to have an episode for real talking about 80s and 90s cartoons.
We also need to compare we're not going to call them Go Lion because but we need to compare the Lions
I know
Voltron to Voltron. The vehicle Voltron, the air, sea, and land team that took like 45 minutes to form. I'm like,
oh my god. You want to really start a debate. That's a real debate.
I am that person. We need to have the Voltron Lion versus
y'all don't understand.
Which one was cooler? Which
if
one
you
was
want to
more
know
effective?
the difference between male and female Sagittarius are so petty. Start anything.
You see. Let me explain something to you. You don't know.
See. So
let me see you. And the difference between male Sagittarius would just mean groove, and female Sagittarius is you little narcissistic son of a bitch. You know good and well that I'm telling the damn truth. So sit down and shut it up. Take another swig. Anyway, all right, guys, we are over 2 hours. 2 hours. And you guys you're coming at me with some cool shit like Soldiers of the Future. Yes,
Oh wow! Wait a minute, Captain Power Show in the future. That would be a fun episode to do.
But yeah, you're coming for me, and I love it. But we do need to have a video where we just talk about old cartoons,
old school shit. Oh my gosh, I could talk about Brave Star forever.
I know you love Brave. I just love the fact that the town was just like, we're in danger. Let's just all put together like Legos. Oh shit, Brave Star's outside. My bad.
Brave Star back there, him in 2020, back there quick. 2020 be like Brave Star. What are we gonna do about the problem? What about 2020? I got it. Speed of the Puma.
I don't know. Like I said, when I watch Saber Ride the Star Shaft, you hear Ramrod, and you got Peter Cullen doing like the Ramrod's voice. I'm like, damn. Even now, still get chills with Ramrod. Anyway. Man. Even though Ramrod is a very interesting name, but that's completely
interesting. It sounds like something from a Ralph Bakshi movie. Ramrod.
Oh Lord! Now we know it's late. All right, guys, thank you for joining us for the stream. I should have my Yashahime. Now I have a recap I have to do last week and this week video stream in the morning, and also we are gonna have Arrowverse. And yes, before you guys ask me, I did see Batwoman. I did see what happened with Sophie and with Ryan. And that's for another video.
That news, I'm so glad I don't.
I envy you so much right now, Groove.
You should.
I do, because I didn't watch that shit either.
You know, I watch that shit. That's garbage. I don't want time for that.
Yeah, I'm going to set those streams up, but we're going to have Legends of Tomorrow, Naomi, Superman, and Lois, and we're going to have Batwoman, which irritates the hell out of me because if my power had not been out, I had a reprieve this week because there is no Arrowverse. So, yeah.
wait.
You're right, Maria.
I saw that comment pop up.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm like, I feel like Timmy. Is this real life? Is this real life? Lord.
Oh, I'm so glad I watched that shit. Oh my God, it's so terrible. Yeah. I know it's terrible. From the start. I saw episode 1 of Batwoman. I was like, this is gonna be bad.
Oh, trust me. No. You saw season 1. It gets worse.
No, I saw episode 1. I was like, I don't trust this, and I stopped watching it. And everybody comes, I'm like, oh, I made a good choice. This is going.
Like I said, when Ruby Rose left, I'm not saying that Batman was stellar or Batwoman was stellar, but when Ruby Rose left and they reinvented the show, it had potential, but then it got much worse, and it kept going completely down to the point where it's not even a show to me anymore. It's just who's the baby's daddy except the mama. Ori Povich meets Jerry Springer. I'm just fucking over all of it. So, but I watch it for my guys because my crowd loves the Arrowverse.
They should take that in Kanto stance. We don't talk about Batwoman. No. We don't talk about Batwoman. It was the airing day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
There are so many clouds in the sky. Oh Lord.
I'm so many people that go, oh, like I guess.
I'm telling you guys. So in answer to your question, you see how we've snapped. He didn't even watch the damn show. He's lost his damn mind too. So yeah, probably not all right.
I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Be on the lookout in the community tab when I set the streams up for tomorrow. So we'll have lots to discuss for Arrowverse and and we will have our Yashahime stream in the morning because I'm a glutton for punishment. That's all I got. All right. So Groove, thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me, making life great and fun and outlandish every week that we do because when we're together, something wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
We can't have two friends that are Sagittarius in the same stream. It don't work. Except it does. So we should be back hopefully the next week with episode 8 review because I have a feeling it's going to be a thing.
Stop having a feeling.
Stop having the knowledge.
Let's stop trying to be omni anything and let things just happen. I don't want things to go like, gropes.
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have to get a water bottle, some tea, whatever. So Angry Grandma doesn't put me in the hospital tomorrow after my anniversary stream. But all right, guys, if it is night for you, have a good night. If it's day for you, have a good day. And I'll see you in the next stream, which should be tomorrow. Check the community tab. Thanks again, Groove. Make sure to check out his channel, like and subscribe, send messages.
I have a new video out, by the way.
So and he has a new video out. So make sure in the comment section you drop your TikTok as well. Now we post this so they can.
My TikTok is just type in Jet Groove. That's TikTok.
Yeah, there you go. Jet Groove.
Yeah. It is Jet Groove.
And I'm going to have him put that in the comment section because, we don't remember shit. All right, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye.